What's up, good people of the internet? We have a treat today. Oh my God. So, as you guys know, earlier today, I was live streaming the trial, but I had to go pick up my kids from school. And at that precise moment when I'm on the streets going to go pick up my kids, cross examination happens of Amber Heard. I thought they would go to the end of the day, so I took a chance and I lost on that chance. But many of you might have been at work when she was getting her behind toe up on cross examination. So, you know what? Since I was driving a car watching it and was pretty much, distracted, we can sit here and watch it together. I'm going to say it. This was a total, total destruction of a witness. Right? This witness got killed. Amber Heard got destroyed. I mean, destroyed on the witness stand. So we're going to watch it. I'm going to comment. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to just do my thing. And we're going to look at the glory, which is Camille Vasquez. Now, we all know that there was a lot of lies that was being told, right? A whole bunch of lies. But how do you get those lies out, right? How do you show the jury that this person is a liar? Is like not just a small little lie, but a monster lie. Everything the person's saying is lying, right? How do you get there? Well, Camille Vasquez showed us how to get there today. It's you guys got to get your. If you guys haven't seen this, for those of you who haven't seen this, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and see how someone who is a professional litigator handles a witness who we all know to be lying, who we all know to be not credible, who we all know who wants to tell a story. We're going to see how our attorney in that moment takes that witness and makes them into their pawn. So I'm telling you, people, it is unbelievable. Listen, I'm not talking it up. Look at the chat. The chat's over here. Look at the chat. Look at what these people are saying, right? She got wrecked. But we get to watch together. As always, let me get my little super chat thing. Listen, we're going to be reading super chats. We'll stop the action sometimes if they get piled up. We'll read them, go back and forth. Super chats, always welcome. So we'll be doing this. This course is about 90 minutes, so it should take us about an hour and a half to get through it. Might have a couple of guests jump in. There's another New York attorney, great guy, John O'Brien. He may be stopping by to give his insights on what he's seen. He said he had a little something to do. Some of the other law tubers, I sent out the link, but I think they're still talking about this, what had just happened. So with that said, are you guys ready to get into the destruction of Miss Heard? Let's get into it. Here we go. Boom. Well, here we go. So I'm starting it at the beginning. Let's see this. Nate the lawyer. There has not been a nailing on a cross like that since Christ. The light and heavily truth literally shone down on Camille from above. Yes. It's a glorious thing to see. So I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's watch the madness.
Good afternoon, Ms. Heard.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial, has he?
Not that I've noticed, no.
You've looked at him, though, many times, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You know exactly why Mr. Depp won't look back at you, don't you?
I do.
He promised you you would never see his eyes again. Isn't that true?
I don't recall if he said that.
One of the last times you ever saw Mr. Depp was when you met him in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
That was the second to last time I saw him, yes.
And this was after you had publicly accused him of domestic violence.
I got my restraining order before that, yes.
Mm-hmm. And this is after you had obtained the domestic violence restraining order against him.
That's correct.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 1229. For the record, it's at 11:01 through 12:09. I'm going to ask that it be admitted into evidence.
Any objection to 1229?
Yes.
I don't know why she's going Kim Jong Un with this
1229,
outfit,
You want
but
it entered in its entirety?
Yes, please.
Okay, 1229 entered in its entirety. Go ahead and play your section.
yeah, Camille is one of JD's attorneys. She's the person doing the cross examination.
No. Oh no, a hug will save it all. All this, everything we just
I
went
just wanted to touch you.
through. Really? After all this shit you just said?
I just wanted to give
After
you
all
a
this
hug.
shit you fucking
Yes,
accused me of? You
yes,
want to
please,
touch me?
please stop.
Fucking-
Please stop. Please, I just wanted to hug you and say bye. I didn't want to get any back.
We did that last night. It's fine. That was good enough.
No, hold on.
No, because I'm nothing to you. And I will always be nothing to you.
Calm. Calm.
What? You're not my friend.
Remember, she was like she wanted to divorce him, but now she's begging him after they're getting divorced. She's begging him now to just hug him. This woman is insane.
You don't like fucking looking at not my fucking eyes? You will not see my eyes again.
That's you and Mr. Depp in that recording.
That is.
And this is from when you and Mr. Depp met in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. That was in the hotel. We met once after that as well.
This is after you publicly accused him of domestic abuse.
Yes.
Begging to
I got my
hug him.
TRO.
And he tells you, you will not see my eyes again, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I'm muted. Forgot. But just imagine how crazy this is. I'm sorry. Just imagine how crazy this is. They're divorced, right? She's made these allegations. She's like, I'm gonna divorce. She's made these allegations, and now she's like, I want a hug. I want a hug. This woman is insane. That's what we just heard. He's like, you just accused me of beating you up, and now you're coming back and saying, I want a hug? What's wrong with you? No, there's no hugs here.
It's in that recording.
And he kept that promise, hasn't he?
As far as I know, he cannot look at me.
He won't look at you, right, Ms. Heard?
He can't.
One of the first questions your counsel asked you on direct is, why are you here? Do you remember that?
I do.
Let's please play Plaintiff Exhibit 357A.
She's trying to
Soliciting
play it
evidence,
cool
Your Honor. And for the
under.
record, it's 2122 through
She's trying to play it cool on
2140.
cross. Just answer the questions. That's what lawyers would advise you to do. Just answer the questions and get through it.
Right, and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and
Yes.
it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
That's your voice on that recording, right?
Yes, it is.
And you were speaking with Mr. Depp.
Yes.
And you said to Mr. Depp, quote, you can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and the judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp, Johnny Depp, a man, a victim too of domestic violence, end quote. That's what you said, right?
I was saying it to the man who beat me up, yes. I thought it was preposterous.
And the man you beat up numerous times. Right, Ms. Heard?
I could never hurt Johnny.
You're here in this courtroom because Mr. Depp finally told the world that he is a victim of domestic violence.
I know that he is suing me and has sued other people or corporations that have said that as well.
You didn't think he would tell the world he was a victim of domestic violence, did you?
I found it hard to believe that he could or that he would do that, considering the relationship he and I had. I thought it would be crazy for him to do so, knowing what I know we lived through.
Or as you said to him in that recording, who was going to believe that Johnny Depp, a man, is a victim of domestic violence, right?
With all due respect, I wasn't saying it because he's a man. I was saying it because he was a man who beat me up for 5 years.
Mr. Depp is your victim, isn't he?
No, ma'am.
And once he left you, you continued to abuse him publicly by calling him an abuser, didn't you?
That's what
He
you
is an
did.
abuser, and you can look either of us up online and figure out who's being abused online.
Now
Let's
she's
look at some of
being
that.
abused online. Okay.
Mr. Depp wears rings on every finger, doesn't he, Miss Heard?
That's my experience, yes.
And they're not delicate rings, are they?
No, they are not.
Every one of his fingers is adorned, your words, big, chunky rings. Isn't that right?
That's my experience of him.
And Mr. Depp is always wearing rings, right, Miss Heard?
That's my experience of him.
And you've never known him not to wear these rings.
That's my experience, is he normally wore rings, yes.
So Mr. Depp was wearing these big, chunky rings on every finger, every incident of abuse you've described to this jury, right?
I can't say for certain it was in every single incident.
But you've never known him not to wear rings, right?
In general, my experience with Johnny is that he wears rings almost all the time.
Ms. Heard, do you recall giving testimony in a deposition in this matter in January of this year?
I do.
Can we please play from your deposition, day 2, 512, page 512, lines 11 through 15?
You said he hit you and he was wearing rings, right, Ms. Heard? So he hit you with rings on every finger?
I don't know if I've ever known Johnny to not wear rings.
Yeah.
Ms. Heard, you testified to an incident in March of 2013 where Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times. Do you recall that?
That's correct.
And you
Now I'm just pausing it right here. I love the way Camille is building up to certain points, the fingers and the rings and all that, because she wants to show that anyone who's wearing rings on every finger, big bulky rings, and it's hitting someone else is going to show a lot of damage. So she's laying the groundwork to show that if all the things you're saying is true under these conditions, then we need to see something more than just, he punched me in the face and there's nothing, right? He's got all these rings, he's a bigger man, all this stuff. So it's critical, especially on cross-examination, to lay a nice, smooth foundation, and you're really boxing the witness into a corner so they can't move their way out. And it's someone says objection leading. Well, you can't, it's cross-examination, so you're supposed to lead. And that's one thing too, for all you want to be lawyers out there. On cross-examination, the rule is only leading questions. You can ask other questions, but you're supposed to only use leading questions. Let's get back to the tape.
testified, quote, "You don't know how many times he hit you in the face."
That's correct.
So Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times while he was wearing rings on this occasion, correct?
Which occasion in March are you referencing? You weren't
The
specific.
testimony that you gave on day 15 of this trial, March of 2013. You weren't specific as to the day.
There were several incidents.
The one where he hit you several times in the face.
I'm sorry, just so I understand better. There were several incidents in March. Which one are you asking me about?
The one
time
you
that he hit you
testified
several
to.
times in the face wearing rings.
The one you
Well,
testified to.
He pretty
in
much
March
always
of 2013.
right. What are you asking me? I'm sorry.
He was wearing rings on that occasion?
I pretty much always knew him to wear rings.
Okay, let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 170A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor.
So many lies. So
You
many
testified
lies.
this is a picture you took after that incident, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, that was one where he grabbed me.
And hit you in the face so many times that you don't remember. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And there's no injuries to your face in this picture, are there?
Not that this picture shows.
And there's no medical records reflecting that you sought treatment after this alleged incident either.
Yeah, look at her face.
I
You
did
see
not seek medical
nothing on
treatment
that
at this
face,
time.
right?
So there's no medical records reflecting any injuries to your face after he hit you several times,
I did not need to go to the doctor at the time.
despite hitting you several times that you lost count with rings on on his fingers.
That's correct. I did not seek medical attention other than my therapist.
And remember, this picture,
Testified to
she's
another
been
incident
punched
in
in the
March of
face multiple times with rings.
2013, where Mr. Depp hit you while he was wearing a lot of rings. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
And you testified you felt like your lip went through your teeth and it got a little blood on the wall.
Yes, I remember that.
There isn't a picture of you with injuries after that alleged incident, is there?
I don't know if I've seen one. I can't recall. There are a lot of pictures.
You didn't produce any photographs after that alleged incident, did you, Ms.
I don't
Wright?
know if I took one or if it's included. I'm not quite sure which ones.
You didn't show any pictures to this jury after describing that alleged incident, that your teeth, your lip went into your teeth. You don't remember that, right? You
I
didn't show
don't-
any pictures to this jury after describing that incident, right?
I don't believe I've seen that picture admitted.
That picture doesn't exist.
Of course, it doesn't.
I don't
exist.
know which one you're talking about. We have pictures from March 2013. Yes.
The only picture that you've produced and shown to this jury is the one that was just put up on the screen, where you said he hit you multiple times in the face and you appear to have what is a bruise on your arm, correct?
I believe this is the only picture that's in evidence right now.
That's the only picture you've shown to this jury from March 2013, correct?
I believe so.
You testified about an incident in Russia
One
on
line
or about
down.
June
Boom.
26,
Blown up.
2013. Do you remember that?
Now we're in the Russia.
Yes, that's correct.
You testified that Mr. Depp, quote, whacked you in the face.
That's correct.
And you went to the bathroom after that, right?
I did.
And then, according to your testimony, when you came out of the bathroom, Jerry Judge, Mr. Depp's security guard, who's passed away, pointed out that your nose was bleeding, right?
He did that in the hallway.
And you said you hadn't known that your nose was bleeding until Jerry Judge pointed it out to you?
Yes, that's correct. I was unaware until he brought it up to me. I didn't see it when I was in the bathroom, but I wasn't looking.
So it's your testimony that you went into the bathroom and didn't look in the mirror, which I assume was in the bathroom, to notice that your nose is bleeding?
That's not why I went into the bathroom. I went into the bathroom crying. I don't even know if I...
Now, I want to say this. The reason why she's talking about Jerry Judge is because he's dead. So she wants to. So she's now saying that the only that she's got an eyewitness to her bloody nose that Johnny Depp gave her, and it happens to be the dead security officer. Let's see how Camille knocks this out.
paid attention to the mirror. I certainly didn't enough to notice any blood.
And you didn't take any pictures of your bloody nose either, did you?
I did not.
But pictures were taken of you in Russia, though. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We had a press.
See how
Or
she's
a
looking at the
dinner.
jury? She's trying to
Let's
still
please
play
pull
the
up
jury.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 1248.
Show and tell
Ms. Heard,
time.
this is a picture of you and Mr. Depp in Russia, correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to move to admit.
All right, no objection. 1248 in evidence. You can publish.
Let's see it.
And this is you and Mr. Depp in Russia for the Lone Ranger premiere, correct?
It was a dinner function, I believe, in promotion of the movie. Wasn't the premiere, if I recall.
You don't have any visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
Let's look at Plaintiff's Exhibit 1249.
That picture screams, "I'm a liar. I got no injuries." That's a picture
This is a
screaming, "I'm a
picture of
liar."
you, isn't it right?
That's correct.
I'm going to move to admit.
Got
Exhibit
objection.
1249.
All right, 1249 in evidence.
Oh, she looks so beat up there. She looks beat
This
up.
is also a picture from when you were in Russia for the Lone Ranger premiere, right?
That is correct.
And you have no visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
None that we can see.
Even
No
though
one
Mr.
can
Depp
see the
whacked you in the
injuries.
face so hard that your nose bled?
He did.
while wearing chunky big rings, right?
That's correct.
See how the big rings came back into it? Before she was like, I'm not sure. Now she says it's correct.
You also
And-
testify that Mr. Depp, again, whacked you in the face after the Met Gala in May of 2014, right?
That is correct.
You testified that you thought he hit you so hard he broke your nose.
That's correct.
You said your nose was, quote, swollen, discolored, red.
That is correct. I took a picture of that.
You testified you took a picture of your face after this,
I did.
but you didn't show that picture to the jury, did you?
I would like to.
But you didn't show it, did you?
That's not up to me.
So I would like to.
You understand you were under an obligation to produce all photographs after any alleged incidents of violence, right, Ms. Heard?
I produced everything.
You didn't produce any photographs after the Met Gala.
I produced everything.
You also understand that you're under an obligation to produce all medical records reflecting any injuries you allegedly sustained from Mr. Depp, correct?
That's correct.
And you haven't produced any pictures or any medical records reflecting a broken nose after the Met Gala in May of 2014, have you?
I
Met
have
Gala
given
again.
everything to my lawyers. Everything I've turned over.
That's where she met
Literally
Elon
everything that I
Musk
have.
at the Met
Is it
Gala.
your testimony, Ms. Heard, that you sought medical treatment after Mr. Depp allegedly broke your nose after the Met Gala?
Not after the Met Gala. I did not seek medical attention. No.
You also attended an event after the Met Gala in May of 2014, didn't you?
That is correct.
And you went to the All-Star Comedy Tribute to Don Rickles.
That is correct.
That was the next night after the Met Gala.
That is correct.
And there were pictures of you taken at this event.
Yes.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1252.
Let's see. They're gonna
This is
show
a
a picture
picture
of
of
her
you,
bloodied
Ms.
and
Heard?
bruised, huh?
Yes, it is.
At that event,
Yes, it is.
the night after the Met Gala,
Yes, it is.
the night
All right,
after
let's see
Mr.
it.
Depp allegedly broke your nose.
The night after
I'm not
he
sure
broke
if it
her
was
nose.
broken, for the record, but yeah, you should see what it looked like underneath the makeup.
He whacked you so hard in the face that you thought you had broken your nose.
Exactly.
Permission to admit this photograph.
All right, 1252.
So let's see how
In
bad the
evidence?
damage is.
This is a picture of you, Mr. Depp, and Don Rickles,
Oh
right?
my God.
That is correct.
Nose is
Let's
so
please
bad
pull
it's
up
almost
Plaintiff's
it's like
Exhibit
it's broke.
1253.
That's the best joke Don Rickles probably had that night, right? Like,
This is another picture from
pretending
that
to
evening,
be
right,
hurt.
Ms. Heard?
Here's
Yes,
another
it is.
picture from the night.
Permission to
Broke your
admit
nose. Oh my God.
Exhibit 1253 and publish it.
All right, so moved. 1253 in evidence.
I want to read this definitely on stream.
This is a picture of you and Mr. Depp at the event the night after Mr. Depp allegedly whacked you in the face so hard you thought he had broken your nose.
He did whack me in the face, and I did think it broke my nose.
And this
Before we continue to go on, I gotta say her makeup. If that's what she looks after, her nose is almost broken, then her makeup artist needs like the best on the planet. Like shout out to the makeup artist because they do miracles.
this is you the night after.
Yes, it is.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1254.
All these are just lies. These are all
This
just
is also a
lies.
picture
Literally.
of you at the same event, correct, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1254.
All right, 1254 in evidence. Publish.
Just to confirm now that the jury can see it, this is a picture of you at the same event the night after Mr. Depp
it's
allegedly
funny 'cause I
whacked
don't
you in
wanna
the face so
laugh.
hard that you thought he broke your nose.
This
yeah,
is a picture
She
of
looks
me,
so beat up. She looks so beat
after
up there.
He did whack me in the face.
The night after, right?
This is the
Yes,
next
it is.
day.
I believe it was the night after, yes.
Really? Really?
Your nose doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Ms. Heard?
I'm wearing makeup.
Your nose
the
doesn't
greatest
appear to be
makeup
injured
in the
any
world.
of these pictures, does it, Ms. Heard?
That's why I'm wearing makeup.
And makeup covers up swelling, right?
Makeup will not cover up swelling. Ice will, though.
Ice is gonna go.
Ice will cover up swelling?
Ice reduces swelling. Normally, the swelling after that kind of injury is not as bad as you might
Oh my
imagine.
God.
And for me, it wasn't that bad. I have a picture of it underneath the makeup. That's how I know how to reference it.
Oh, we get to
A
see that
picture
picture.
you haven't produced or shown to
did.
this jury, right, Ms. Heard?
I produced everything.
But you haven't shown it to this jury.
I would very much like to. It's not my job.
I haven't shown it. Not my job.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes.
Yeah, she's just and this is it. She's just talking about stuff that she's like, I have a picture, but I haven't produced it. What? No. This is Sergeant Fubar. As a woman who has been a DV and SA survivor, this witch can kiss my butt. She wants to fake PTSD and comes up with new accusations as she goes. Amen to that. Amen to that. I don't know what's up. Ugh, it's crazy. It's literally crazy. This is bad. She's been exposed. She is a goddamn liar. Pardon me. She's a liar. Amber Heard is so creepy, turning her head to the jury. She's trying to do that for effect. They teach you that when you're testifying. Thank you, Fubar. They teach you to do that when you're testifying because that's who you really are talking to. You're not talking to the person asking the questions. But you know what the good thing about the replay is? I can fast forward through all this, right? So we can just fast forward through all this. Here we go. Let's get back to the questions. Thank God for the replay. We've been up there for a long time. I think at this point in time, they're trying to get in fire. Here we go. Back
Ms.
to
Heard,
the
you
action.
testified that in January of 2015, there was an incident in Tokyo before Mr. Depp's the film Mordecai's premiere. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you told this jury that on this occasion, Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back.
John, I sent you a link in Twitter.
Correct. In the
When you-
closet.
when you got it.
And you also told this jury that you wore a backless dress to the Mordecai premiere that very same night.
I did.
And you testified that you were checking for bruises in the car on the way to the event to make sure that there were, quote, no visible marks, right?
I was checking on my phone after the event to make sure that they couldn't see anything.
Your testimony was that you were checking in the car on the way to the event to make sure that there were no marks on your back.
Perhaps I misspoke or misunderstood. It was on the way back from it was after I was concerned. Concerned that there would be marks in any photographs since we were being photographed at Johnny's press event.
And you didn't show this jury a picture of you in that
I'm
backless
sorry,
dress,
Pope. I
though, did
can't
you?
raise the volume of the trial.
I don't know what you mean. I'm
It's
sorry.
maxed out
You
right
didn't
now.
show this jury a picture of you at the Mordecai premiere wearing a backless dress, did you?
I haven't had the opportunity to.
Okay.
I assume you have it.
I do. Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit
I
1,
like
2,
Camille.
5,
She's like,
6.
yeah, I do.
This is a picture of you and Mr. Depp, or the back of you, at the Mordecai premiere in Tokyo, correct, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to admit and publish this picture.
Part 1, 2, 5, 6 in evidence.
Look at that back that was all bruised up and glass on it.
This is you in the backless dress at the Mordecai premiere in Tokyo, right?
That is correct.
You would agree that there are no...
Now, hold on. I got to say this. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I got to say this. How stupid can you be to say your back is all cut up from a fight you have with your husband, and on the next day, the next day, you're going to an event and you wear a backless dress? So we can all see, right? It's not like she's wearing a shirt. Like, say if I'm wearing a shirt and you couldn't see it, but she goes out with a backless dress and doesn't believe people are going to say, oh, well, you said your back was cut up. You see, we can see your back. It's not all, it's like, what was she thinking, people? Really, I'm just asking you guys, because this is like, it's at this is kind of next level line, right? This is kind of like, we're just going to lie just to lie. Nate, you introduced me to LawTube, and it has been a blast. Thanks. I wish Camille had continued to zoom into each picture with ad absurdum, in an internal meme. Yes, yes, yes. It's crazy because there's no way, no way. I don't believe there's any way anyone reasonably can say that she thought this out. This because this is ridiculous. How do you not know this? And then you go to trial and say it again, like these pictures don't exist. What?
Bruises or visible marks on your back in this picture.
No, not that I could see.
I'll show you one other photo. If we could please have plaintiff's exhibit 1257. This is a front angle picture of you and Mr. Depp at that premiere, correct?
That is correct.
Move to admit plaintiff's exhibit 1257.
All right, 1257 it is.
I'll show you one more picture. Plaintiff's exhibit 1258. And again, Ms. Heard, this is you and Mr. Depp at the Mordecai premiere.
Yes, it is.
Move to admit plaintiff's exhibit 1258.
All right, 1258 in evidence. Publish.
And that's the backless dress, right, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
It's
You
incredible.
also told this jury about an incident in Australia in March of
This is-
2015.
It's incredible. She didn't. How
Yes,
could you?
that's
How did
correct.
you not know that you're wearing a backless dress?
You testified that after this alleged incident, you had cuts on your forearms, right?
Yes, that's true.
And you testified that you had cuts on the bottoms of your feet as well.
Yes, that's true.
And you testified that you had a bruise across your jaw from when Mr. Depp, quote, clocked you in the face, end quote.
That's true.
You didn't take any pictures of these injuries while you were in Australia, did you?
I don't think I took any pictures.
You just took 2 pictures of Mr. Depp's writing on a mirror. Isn't that right?
I believe so, yes.
She just-
So you had your phone
I
on you,
didn't
right?
take any pictures, but you
At some
you
point
took
I
2
did have my
pictures.
phone.
Yeah, I did take.
And
2
your
pictures.
iPad?
I had my iPad, I believe.
You testified that you were also raped with a liquor bottle in Australia, right?
Oh my
Ms. Heard?
God. Oh yeah.
You testified you bled from your vagina as a result of that sexual assault.
Oh my God.
Yes.
There aren't any medical records reflecting that you sought medical treatment for any of these injuries, are there?
I did not seek medical treatment after Australia, no.
Not for the rape,
No, I did not want to tell anyone.
not for the cuts,
No,
not for the injuries to your face.
I didn't need to.
Never getting any
You
medical
also told the
attention.
jury about an incident on December 15, 2015, right?
She's got that
Where? I'm sorry.
Wolverine healing factor.
December
She
15th,
heals like Wolverine. She
2015.
don't need any.
Yes,
of that.
that's correct.
She's good. Give her
You told this
24
jury
hours.
that after this incident, you had a broken nose.
It certainly felt like it.
No, it
Sir, do you
wasn't
recall
a broken
giving
nose. It
testimony on
feels
day
like a broken nose.
16th in this trial?
I feel like my nose is broken. Before it was my nose is broken. Now it feels broken. It
You were
feels
Yes, I
an
do.
broken.
oath, right?
Yes.
We can have a transcript for the jury. Or, excuse me, for the witness.
Okay. All right, we will get it. I will do. Thank you, Judy.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
All right, yes, ma'am.
And would you like a copy?
Yes, please.
Oop, I'm muted again. I think her case is done. I think her case is done. Let me get these super chats back. Yeah, Bree says, where are all those tears? She did not come off as a sympathetic or honest. Yes, 110%, Bree.
If I can please direct your attention, Ms. Hurd, to page of day 16.
Love how she keeps saying, I use pledge and donations
4593,
interchangeably.
the
Pledge
jury
to
trials
promise
transcript.
to donate is very important. Is something is done past tense. Yeah, it was all BS. That whole pledge versus donate stuff, that's all BS. We all know it's BS. Now we know for sure it's BS. Just imagine you go to work and I pledge to give you your paycheck. What? No. I got to get paid. Yeah, we pledged it to you, so you got to treat it as if I paid you. Just imagine that. But we ain't even there yet. We still got to get through this
Lines
madness.
8 through 13.
On which page? I'm sorry.
4593.
Yes.
Starting on line 8. I thought I probably had a concussion and certainly thought, excuse me, strike that, let's start over. I thought I probably had a concussion and certainly that I had a broken nose. There was blood everywhere, blood all over the pillows. My head was bleeding from the ripped out hair, chunks of hair on the floor, all over the place actually. So lines 9, that I had a broken nose. Do you recall giving that testimony, Ms. Hurd?
Yes, exactly.
So you
I
had a
pledge.
broken nose, right?
That's absolutely what I thought.
You had 2 black eyes after this incident, right?
I did have 2 black eyes after that incident.
And you testified that you also had a busted lip from when Mr. Depp punched you.
That is
2 black
correct.
eyes, busted lip,
From
broken
December.
nose,
Yes, that's correct.
You testified that the lip wound kept reopening when you moved your mouth.
and the lip
That's
too.
correct.
You also testified that you had bruising on your temple
That's
So
correct.
nose, lip,
and bruising on your chin.
eyes, temple,
Correct.
cheek. She's just
You
all
also
full bar.
testified that your head was bleeding from where Mr. Depp ripped chunks of your hair out,
I remember. Yes.
And her hair's bleeding.
and that you had, quote, gross, pussy, end quote, bruising around your temple.
In my scalp. Yeah.
Now, for this incident, you did take pictures,
That's
correct?
correct.
And we will look at some of those in a minute. But I first want to talk to you about your appearance on the James Corden show.
Sure. Can I close this?
Sure.
Yeah, we got to go to James Corden because you saw the extent of
Appeared on the
injuries,
James
right?
Corden show the day after this
Broken
alleged
nose,
incident,
black
right?
eye,
I did.
temple, everything. She's
And that
all
was December
full bar.
16th, 2015.
Yes, that's correct.
Now we're going to see her the next day.
Let's please pull
Wolverine.
up a clip
Wolverine
of
is
your
going to show us
appearance
what
from
happened
that
on the next
evening.
day.
If we could, Plaintiff's Exhibit 35. And for the record, we will only be playing a portion of this, so we will call it Plaintiff's Exhibit 35A.
All right, any objection? 35A in evidence.
I grew up, in Texas riding horses and,
Oh, really? Not a
shooting-
big ballet community out there in Texas.
Not so much. Shooting guns, yes, but ballet, no. So I wanted to train for it, and there were some ballet sequences that we wanted to have the option to incorporate into the movie. So I trained forever, and I have 2 left feet. I'm the most klutzy person in the world, and I have no grace.
Right.
So I knew.
Your Honor,
I
I'm
knew
so
I had to
sorry,
train.
but it's not published to the jury.
Yeah,
may
they
have
can't
it
see it.
published.
Okay, thank you.
Apologies. If we can please start that over.
Start it over, I'm sorry.
Wolverine's
Your
got to
Honor.
get the healing factor right. Wolverine, she's like,
I grew up, in Texas riding horses.
Well,
And,
apparently, arnica cream is magic.
Big
So,
problem.
it solves broken bones.
no,
And
not so much. Shooting guns, yes.
well,
but
right now
ballet,
we're
no.
looking at a woman with a
So
broken nose.
I wanted to train
2 black
for it, and there were
eyes,
some ballet sequences
busted lip,
that we wanted to have
What else
the
has she
option
got?
to
The
incorporate
temple
into the
and her
movie. So I
hair has
trained
been ripped out,
forever,
and
and
her
I
hair is
have 2
bleeding.
left feet.
somebody
I'm the most
absolutely needs to
klutzy
give
person in
these,
the world, and I have
these
no,
makeup
re-
people a raise.
grace.
Raise.
So I knew.
We need to pray
I
to
knew
this
I had
makeup
to
person
train
because it's
for
like a
it,
god.
And they don't tell you.
Makes
I mean,
miracles happen.
I crammed about
Yeah,
3
just
months
give
of
them
solid
MDs.
training in, and I'm kind of like working my way up
Look at
from
this.
the floor and learning the technical aspect of ballet. And I've got these dances
You're
down
not even listening to what
technically
she's saying. We're just
perfectly. I'm
looking
learning
at
all
her.
the movements.
Look
The
what she's
last
doing.
thing we get
She
to are
remember
the
this woman has
hands.
just gone through a traumatic,
And I haven't yet got to
serious
that point, but
assault.
everything else is working, and I'm acting it up on my face, and I'm selling the
We're
ballet.
looking at the face. You are acting it up
I
on your
think I'm
face
doing really
for
good
sure.
at this point, kind of nailing it. And so I send videos.
How does it get
and
televised? Did
images to
Amber
my
agree to
friends
this?
to,
No,
like,
they
get
fought. She fought
encouragement
it,
and
but
for their
Johnny won
support.
that. If
And
so, super
everyone
dumb
shoots
move on
back,
her part. No,
"What?"
she fought it. She fought it.
with the claw hand. And I look and I realize
Why
like,
didn't
all
Team
the
Depp
stress
subpoena
and
her makeup
fear
artist?
of
I'm not
performing
sure.
and doing this thing, it just kind of like
They may have, for
funneled
all I
out
know.
through the one thing that I hadn't yet like
what were
It's
you
really
all
tough
doing?
because
So I'd be
Virginia
doing
does
this
not have a good way to
amazing,
subpoena
I'd be doing
out of state
a
witnesses.
jump with a back bend.
Ah,
That's why we
well,
dealt
well.
with all of the
graceful
deposition
falling, and my
testimony.
hands are like.
Yeah.
And my face though is like I've got that. you
That's
saw
my
in the clip,
understanding
like,
anyway.
Beautiful 1920s,
makes sense, though.
stage makeup on and like flower crowns and all this stuff.
Subpoenaing out of state
And then my
witnesses is a
hand
tough
and my
thing.
face and then my hands.
There it was, right? So you saw the beautiful face. Now,
That was
is she
you
gonna
on
say
the James
makeup?
Corden show
Makeup.
on December 16th, 2015, right, Ms. Heard?
I mean, that's
That
obviously
was-
the face somebody has had their face
Let's
beaten
please
in.
pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 98.
Yeah, her face looks beaten in. Come on.
These are
Listen, she's
pictures of
lying.
you on the James Corden show on December 16th,
She is
2015,
lying.
right, Ms. Heard?
They look like freeze frames.
I don't want to
like
be the next
screen
one sued
grabs.
for defamation.
Stills. They're not like a. It's not like a photo shoot. It doesn't seem.
But on the James Corden show, correct?
From that appearance, yes.
Move to admit and publish Plaintiff's Exhibit 98.
Any objection? All right. And Ms. Bernhoff, you could move the microphone and turn it on for you. So Judy and I are having trouble hearing you.
Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you. All right. 90.
The good thing about the replay, I can stop it.
This
Look at this.
right here.
Busted lip, broken nose, 2 black eyes. Do we see any of that?
Yeah, so I was on Joe's show, and good logic. Everybody should check it out. GODLAWGIC.
Good logic.
And I made this comment, and my fiance was listening in the other room, and I made the point that wouldn't it be extremely painful with a busted lip to have that makeup put on or to hold that pose? And she burst out laughing.
It's crazy that she, like, who believes this woman? Like, if there's any pro Amber Heard people, they need to go see a psychotherapist, because this is crazy. Like, there's no way that the injuries that were described are the injuries we see.
I can't imagine that the jury hasn't made up their mind at this stage.
Yeah.
That's a photo of you opening your mouth on the right, right?
That's correct.
And again, a larger view of the same photo on the bottom
That's correct.
with a split lip.
You've seen pictures of it without makeup.
So you had a split lip when you
I
were
sure
moving
did.
your mouth that way
I sure did.
in those photographs.
Absolutely.
Stay with the lie, huh? Drive into the skid.
You did take pictures of your alleged injuries after December 15th, correct? And you showed those to the jury?
I sure did, yes.
Okay. Let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 516, which is already in evidence.
At least she gets a lot of FaceTime, I'll say that. Because she gets to see her
Hey,
face
you know,
a lot.
not
You
all
testified that this
publicity
is
is
a
good
picture of you
publicity.
after the incident on December 15th, 2015, right?
It was.
And if we could also please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 517, which is also in evidence.
I see a shadow.
Yeah, I
you,
see
Your
a
Honor.
shadow. I don't see nothing.
This is also a picture of you after the incident on December 15th,
This is her best
2015.
pictures too.
That's correct.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 409, which is already in evidence.
Seems like you can cover anything with makeup. Injuries, broken bones, swelling. Makeup is like
I have no respect for the community. That's apparently a fantastic profession.
These
This is
pictures
her
ended
leaking
up
the
in People
pics.
magazine in June of 2016. Isn't that right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct.
Those look
You
like
gave these
bags under
pictures
your
to People
eyes.
magazine after you
That's not a
publicly
black eye.
accused Mr. Depp of domestic abuse, didn't you?
I didn't personally know.
This was you protecting Mr. Depp after you got the restraining order against him, isn't it?
No, this is him calling me a liar and me forcing to prove it, as I mentioned to you earlier.
So you did.
Come on, Nate, you've had a
give
black eye
these
in your life.
pictures
Like,
to
it does
People
not look
magazine.
like that.
No, I gave these
No.
pictures actually to my lawyers and my representatives at the time.
Why
So it's your
struggle with
testimony,
this?
Ms. Heard, that your lawyers and representatives gave these pictures of
Camille
their
had to laugh
client
at
to
that
People
too.
magazine in the middle of a contentious divorce?
I certainly did not personally give it. No.
Throw the lawyers under the bus and my personal representatives.
You also have
But
a
she's
medical
done that
record
the entire
from
time.
after the December 15th,
When there's a break,
2015
I
incident,
have
don't
some
you?
thoughts.
A partial one, yes.
You went to see Dr. Kipper's office a couple days later.
That's right. He wasn't in the office.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 47, which is already in evidence? This is your medical record for December 17th, 2015, isn't it, Ms. Heard?
Yes, it is.
That's correct.
And this record doesn't document any physical injuries on you, does it?
I don't think so. No, I don't think I spoke to Kipper. I didn't speak to Kipper that day. And
But you
I
went
didn't,
to Dr. Kipper's office and were seen, correct?
I went to Dr. Kipper's office for a concussion check.
Right. Okay. And this medical record is from that visit, correct?
She actually
Partially,
impeaches
yes.
the record here well.
Scroll down, please.
Yes.
We'll see. To the chat, and I know Nate, you saw this.
The signature Kipper down below. This is the entirety of the medical record, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, what I meant by partial is I didn't talk about what happened to me. I didn't get into my injuries. I didn't get into what happened or ask for anything other than should I get some sort of scan done.
But this record doesn't document any physical injuries on you, does it?
I'd have to read it in full, but I don't know.
Well, let's do
This
that.
is why I think they must have prepped while she was still technically
go.
not supposed to.
Yeah,
Well, under
yeah.
skin on the second page, it reads intact, normal color, moisture, hair distribution, texture, turgor, no signs of, oh, this is going to be hard, cyanosis, mottling, jaundice.
It also says I'm a well-nourished male.
Right. I have no idea what that means.
I think this.
By the way, from the
medical
MedMal
record's
side,
missing a lot.
that is perfectly reasonable when you're trying to dictate your records, because most doctors, they're not typing it out themselves, they're dictating it into, and it's having it transcribed. So it's a reasonable mistake, but it's also a great point of impeachment.
And I think when it comes to this line of questioning between her and Camille, I think she actually gets the better of Camille in this exchange. And
I
you guys
agree.
will see what I'm talking about. She gets the better of Camille. But one good thing is watch how Camille turns it back around on her, and then she keeps going forward, because, and this is going to happen when you question any witness. Sometimes you'll get bumps in the road, but it's not about, it's like what they say in Rocky. It's not about how hard you get hit, but it's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. And Camille does that. She takes the hit, but keeps moving forward.
Agreed.
A lot of things.
Yeah. It doesn't document any physical injuries.
Doesn't seem to be documenting anything.
See, Amber got the best of that exchange.
Probably
Gotta give
because
it
there
to
was
her.
nothing to document, right, Ms. Heard?
I disagree with you on that.
You don't have any medical records reflecting that you broke your nose during your relationship with Mr. Depp, do you?
I saw an ENT after my relationship ended.
Because here's where Camille's going to lose at the bench.
And you saw an ENT, it's your
Yeah.
testimony under oath that you saw an ENT for broken noses that you sustained as a result of Mr. Depp?
No, but the ENT told me I sustained
Objection.
multiple fractures.
No, I'm going to
I'll
move to
sus-
strike. Your
I'll
Honor.
sustain the objection. I'll move it to strike.
Thank you. So again, just to try my question, there's no medical records reflecting that you broke your nose during your relationship with Mr. Depp, is there, Ms. Heard?
I don't know what made it in evidence, but I do know that I documented that visit
I
and
hate
that
that framing.
everything was given to my attorneys.
Ms. Heard, you never went to see any doctor or surgeon to treat a broken nose during your relationship with Mr. Depp, yes or no?
I never sought treatment for broken nose while I was with Johnny.
Or after you were with Mr. Depp as a result of any injuries you sustained
That's
as
the
a result
question
of
too
Mr.
far.
Depp?
Yeah.
Afterwards, yes, I did.
and you didn't produce those medical records in this case.
I don't object, Your Honor. She did.
I did.
I don't know.
They have not been produced, Your
Yet
Honor.
they not only
All right, if
been
you would
produced.
come and approach.
Her losing that one is rough
Yes,
because she
but-
does. Spoiler alert: she loses that at the bench.
Yes, but the one thing I do like is that a lot of attorneys would be devastated by such a hit. But I do like the way she comes back, shakes it off, and just continues to, because you have a plan. This is a punch in the face,
absolutely.
right? This is a punch in the face that hurts that plan. But now you got to get back up and continue to move forward. Let me knock these super chats out while we got this little natural break. $10 from Feature Pick. There was 13 months between getting paid $7 million in full to Depp suing her. She had 13 months to pay these charities in full. She did not. Yes, agreed. Yes, 100%. DL says
at the end of the testimony.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna get there. Lawyer in Australia here. If she was my client being crossed on the stand, I would have my head in the desk in the feet. That's what we all been saying. You can't hold that pose and with a cold sore. That's true. You can't, especially or a split lip.
That open mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you cover what kind of injury? Can you cover that kind of injury with makeup? That's what they're saying. You can cover superficial injuries, but swelling, it's things that nature you can't cover. So that's why she keeps saying makeup, but we all know it's not makeup. $5. She has no choice but to lie on the stand. She's gone too far with this. As ridiculous as her lies are, she doesn't have any other options now. That's true. That's true. She's locked into the lies. Great point, BSB. Hatchby for $10 says, when the ACLU issued the pledge form to her, it would make her legally obligated to fulfill the donation. No. If she refused to sign it, hope they bring it up. No, what happens is it's a gift. You're not legally bound to give gifts.
It's a prospective gift.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thanks for the highlights. Thank you. Yeah. It's called promissory estoppel. If they detrimentally relied on a gift, for instance, start building a new wing of the hospital that costs $3.5 million, and then she says, "I'm not giving it to you," then they can do it. But I don't think we have.
But that would be entirely separate from this case. That would be them suing her.
Yeah. Mary Kay says, "I don't understand why she can't imply evidence exists without presenting it." Well, that's what cross-examine is, right? We'd say you're telling us a whole bunch of stuff, but you're not showing us. It's a show. It's a tell, but no show. It's show and tell. It's not just show.
You don't have any medical records reflecting that you required any dental work during your relationship with Mr. Depp.
I hate that they lost that at the bench.
Yeah. Well, they may have had the record. They may have had the
I don't
record.
know.
So
I don't
Why wouldn't they
recall.
introduce it?
You don't recall
You can't
one
just
way or
hold a
another
record for
seeking
rehab.
dental care for any injuries you allegedly sustained.
You asked me about if I had produced records or if I had records. That's a different question.
Did you ever see a dentist or an oral surgeon as a
Yes.
result of any injuries you sustained with Mr. Depp?
Not about any injury I had from Johnny, no.
that was a
And you
hard
don't have
note
any
to get
medical records reflecting that you required any reconstructive work during your relationship with Mr. Depp, do you?
I never required reconstructive work, so there would be no records.
What you do have, Ms. Heard, are pictures of Mr. Depp sleeping, though, right? The jury saw a lot of those.
Now she
Yes.
flips to a new
Sure,
topic.
let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1090, which is already in evidence. You took this photograph, right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct.
And you testified that this was taken in Tokyo in July of 2013, correct?
Yes.
Now, practice memo. One thing this is a risk, right? Because it's risk showing the bad of Johnny, but I think it also is showing something else. What I think Camille is just trying to portray. She's trying to say, you're taking pictures all the time of Johnny sleeping, but you have these massive injuries and you don't take any pictures of any of that, right? It just doesn't make sense. Why are you taking these mundane pictures when he's asleep, when he's high? But then you have these massive injuries and take no pictures? What do you think, John?
No, I mean, I definitely tend to agree with you. I think yes, I agree what Camille's trying to do. I think the other aspect of it is you had your camera on you during all of these events, and it goes back to a narrative of she's taking pictures of, it's going to come up, bottles on the floor, but not your own injuries. You're taking, it's this humiliation aspect, and it comes back further because I know where this goes, that she was just fundamentally humiliating him during the entire relationship. And
Agreed.
she says in a very, very straightforward way, I mean, the one with the ice cream on the pants and whatever, that comes back out in a text message where she's emotionally abusing him the entire relationship.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, one. Yep. And this is the illustration of that.
So you
And
decided
it's
to
not
take a
that
picture of
damaging
Mr.
for
Depp
him,
asleep on the
honestly.
floor?
No.
It's a
He
guy
was
asleep on
passed
the
out.
floor.
That's a
And I
yes.
took a picture of him because he wouldn't remember. He claimed he didn't pass out that way. And
Oh God, obviously he's an
sometimes
abuser.
security would carry him like a baby into bed, get him changed, and he would be none the wiser. So
Yeah,
I
this
started
is you
taking
back
pictures of
going
it
in.
so that he knew that it was real, that it had gotten this bad.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1091, which is already in evidence. You took this
They've already
picture as
killed her
well.
credibility.
Yes.
And this is a picture that was taken in the Bahamas, right?
It's one of
Once
them,
again,
yes.
clearly an
And this is a
abuser.
picture of Mr. Depp taking a nap on his tropical island.
I believe he was on the nod, but as
Why
he would say,
couldn't you just say yes to this question,
Sleeping
right?
on the nod on his island.
they're very different.
She can't help
in my
herself.
opinion. And
Okay.
yes, he is on the island.
On vacation.
We were on vacation, yes.
Let's also take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1092, which is also in evidence. You also took this picture, right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct. I did.
Oh my God,
this
a
is another
sleeping
picture of
person.
Mr. Depp
Obviously,
asleep
the
in a
wife
chair.
beater.
No, he was nodding off. Sleep is different. When you're nodding off, you're high on drugs. Didn't even feel the cigarette in his hand that had, been burning on his leg. It was cause for alarm for me, naturally, because I cared about him.
It's your testimony under oath that Mr. Depp is holding a cigarette in this picture?
He had been.
He had been.
Okay.
You seem to really like taking pictures of Mr. Depp while he's sleeping, don't you?
I hated it.
There we go.
I hated it.
Let's look at Defendant's Exhibit
she did it all the time.
1094, which is also in evidence.
So you took all of those photos, but
You took
not
this
any of
picture
your
Mr.
own
Depp
injuries.
as well, didn't you?
I did.
Because I hated it.
You decided to
I
take a
hated
picture
it.
of Mr. Depp asleep with ice cream spilled all over him, right?
He was nodding off, and I was worried about how bad the medications and the medication change and the drug usage had gotten, where he wouldn't even feel ice cream or a lit cigarette on him, and it scared me.
So you took
Really?
a picture of it.
Yes, I wanted him to get help, and Johnny's surrounded by enablers who clean up after him. and
Objection,
The
Your
protect
text
him.
Honor, I'm
message
going
is
to move to
going to
strike
murder
everything
this.
after yes, that she took this picture.
Still responsive, Your Honor.
The question was, did you take this picture?
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
Yeah. Yes. That's how you control the witness, though. Strike everything
this isn't a
after
very
yes.
flattering picture of Mr. Depp, is it?
No, it's not.
You wouldn't agree that this is, or you would agree with me that this is an embarrassing scene, right?
Of course it is. Don't fight with.
Yes,
don't fight
I
her.
think it's a part
Here
of
it is.
getting help. Is
It's like
looking
pulling
at it,
teeth from this witness.
seeing it.
But you sent this picture
She's
to one of
actually
your
not
friends,
bad at
didn't you?
Not fighting
I don't
the
recall.
examiner.
Yeah,
If we could please pull up Defendant's Exhibit
except for the end.
252.
That's when she started fighting, and that's when it went downhill. Because she should know all this.
We'll
They
only
should
be
have already
looking at
prepared
a
her.
portion of this document.
This is going to be bad.
So if we could please call it Defendant's Exhibit 252A.
252A.
And for ease, we've gone ahead and redacted it.
These are the texts.
Yes, I was asking for support. That's correct.
There's no question yet, Ms. Heard. So directing your attention, I'm going to move to admit
God love you,
Exhibit
Camille.
252A.
She's trying to get ahead of it. There's no question.
Any
yeah.
objection, Ms. Berto? Could you turn your microphone again? I'm sorry. Thank you.
Camille's
That's the
like
one
me.
with a really bright future ahead of
Okay.
her.
what they redacted.
Camille?
252.
Yeah.
Redacted the
Oh, Camille. This is a
identifiers.
career maker right here.
and anything
Oh, yeah.
that's
This
not
this is a
misheard
$1 million cross
text
right here.
messages. Consistent with hearsay.
Camille's at another level. Yeah, this is a career making cross examination.
Any law firm on earth would be happy to have her.
Oh yeah. I know the law firm she's at now is
Yeah,
probably
no,
like,
we
my God, we got to pay this woman more money.
Yeah, there are some bonuses going around after this.
The good part about this, people, we can fast forward. Well, first I'll give if we have super chats. No super chats. All right, so we're gonna fast forward it. The great thing about the replay, fast forward. All right, so they're talking about something. These were long too.
Yeah,
Not a lot of
that's true.
objections too.
Sir, does this refresh your recollection that you did in fact send this
There
picture
we
to
go.
your friend Rocky Pennington?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Caught another
You
lie.
sent it to her on August 7th, 2014 at 11:24 p.m., correct?
That is
Clearly, it was
correct.
for his benefit.
Yeah.
So you sent Miss Pennington this picture of Mr. Depp with ice cream spilled on him, right?
That is correct.
And you wrote, quote, "This is what I've been dealing with," end quote. Did I read that right?
You did read that right. That's correct.
And this is you protecting Mr. Depp.
That is me getting support from my best friend.
This is you supporting Mr. Depp.
This is me getting support from my best friend. I also need support.
That's not what she testified
You weren't
to.
afraid the
Yes or no,
monster
but-
would get upset that you took this picture?
This was Opiate Johnny. This is a different version of him. This is Opiate on the Nod Johnny.
And you weren't afraid that Opiate Johnny, or the monster as you called him, would get upset that you sent this picture to your friend?
Well, he's all of those things. Of course he could get upset. Of course that's scary to me, of course.
Didn't
But
stop you
too
from
open a
sending this
question.
picture to your friend, did it?
why would it?
Point made, back
Mr.
out,
Depp's
move on to the next.
Right hand is in his pocket,
Yeah.
right, Ms.
Point is,
Hood?
don't
Yes,
battle
that's
it.
correct.
You also showed this jury pictures of cocaine. Do you recall that?
Yes, that's correct.
Please take a look at one of those. If we could please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 167A, which is already in evidence.
I like where this ended, but it was rough getting through it though.
There were some aspect. I mean, they had to do a little bit of damage control.
Directing your
but
attention, Ms. Heard,
you know.
to a photograph.
This
is
is
a
not
photograph
their
you took
greatest
in
sequence.
March of 2013, right?
That is correct.
And this was taken at your apartment in Orange.
Yes,
And this is your breakfast table.
that is correct.
That's her table.
And it's your testimony that Mr. Depp left this breakfast table just the way you took it.
That is correct.
So this is what the table looked like after Mr. Depp had been doing cocaine.
I would object to ask the answer.
Well, clearly he has yet to snort these lines.
There are 4 lines of cocaine on this table, right, Ms. Heard?
In this picture, I see 4 lines.
There isn't any cocaine residue around those lines, right?
Not that I can tell, no.
Doesn't really look like
This-
anyone's been doing cocaine off that table, does it?
This isn't really a great line of questioning, to be honest with
With all
you.
due respect,
No,
I'm not
it's
sure you know
not.
how that
I get where
works.
she's coming from.
I'm asking if you do. You've testified you've done cocaine.
I have.
Doesn't really look like Mr. Depp or anyone was doing cocaine off that table, does it?
I beg to differ with you on that. When you snort
Yeah,
cocaine,
that's a
typically
rough
it
line
goes
of
into your
questioning.
nose.
Yeah.
And
It
there's
doesn't stay on the
residue.
table.
There's residue from that cocaine when your lips and nose touch the table, right?
Will the tampon applicator next
No.
to the credit
Not
card,
that I know.
driver's license that you see is a device that I believe my sister had taught him to use in order to put the cocaine.
Remember, this is her table though. This is not his table.
in your nose.
So her sister
Mr.
taught
Depp
him.
is a pretty heavy smoker, right?
He is.
Yeah, but here's
And-
the
and
thing with
that's a
that one
cigarette in the
is
ashtray
not
in
that
the
I
back
know,
there?
but or
Back
have any
right.
personal
Yes,
experience.
it looks
but
like one of his
if you're gonna do
handwrites.
lines off a table, you're gonna leave
There's
something
no other cigarettes in
behind.
that
I
ashtray,
can only
are there?
imagine.
I see one cigarette.
The one that's not smoked.
That's correct.
There's no ash in that ashtray either, is there?
Not that I can tell in this picture.
It's pretty clean.
In this picture, it looks like it. Yes.
It's a pretty
Why are
neat
you
table.
spending time on
Wouldn't you
that
agree?
stupid picture? Just let it slide.
Depends on what you would call neat. I
She has the
suppose.
payoff question
And
coming
you
soon.
sent
though.
this
There's a
picture
payoff
to your
question coming.
friend Rocky Pennington as well, didn't you?
I sure did.
Here's the payoff.
And when you sent it, you said, quote, look at my morning. or
It's
something
her
like
morning,
that. Is that
not
right?
his morning.
Yay for mornings.
Look at my morning.
So you have a habit of sending stage photographs to your friend Rocky, don't you?
I had a habit of communicating with my best friend about what was going on in my life.
All right, I mean it's a
You don't have any
payoff. I
pictures
don't
of
know if
Mr.
it's
Depp
worth
actually
it
consuming cocaine, do
if
you?
you have only limited time. But okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a picture of him mid snort. No.
You have a
don't
picture of
even have any
everything else
pictures of
except
Mr.
your
Depp with
injuries and
cocaine.
him actually doing
What do you
anything.
mean by that?
Holding cocaine, standing next to cocaine.
But he's already admitted to using
Sitting
cocaine,
next
so
to
I don't
cocaine.
even really know. Like,
I don't know.
this line of
cares?
questioning
I don't
isn't really that.
Well, you haven't shown any of those pictures.
I just feel like
Moving
it's
to me.
a waste
Have
of
you?
time.
I don't know. No, I haven't.
But she
And
was.
you were never able to catch
getting to that
Mr. Depp
payoff.
with cocaine on film either.
Yeah,
Were
she
you?
got that one
I
in.
never tried.
Yeah.
But you were able to catch him sleeping, right?
But
I
my
have
understanding is
seen him
Rocky's
pass
not going
out
to
in
testify,
all
so
sorts of
who
places,
cares?
yes.
I'm still hitting the hell out of them in
And you also
closing that
captured a
that's the
video
only
of Mr.
witness.
Depp in the kitchen that was played again for this jury today, beating up some cabinets. Do you recall that?
Hmm.
Sorry, say that again.
You recall capturing Mr. Depp in the kitchen of one of his homes, beating up some cabinets?
Yes. Slamming things around, yes.
So you took that video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen, right?
I did. I did.
And you took it on one of your iPad devices?
I took it on my iPad.
You were deposed in August of 2016 in connection with your divorce proceedings from Mr. Depp, right?
That is correct.
And you will recall that the video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen was released online the day before your deposition in August of 2016, don't you?
That's correct.
She's going
You're
to
the
blame
one
the
who
lawyers
released that
again.
video.
Incorrect.
Isn't that true?
That's incorrect. I flew in from another place at the time. I remember learning about it when I landed.
So it's just a coincidence that the video you took of Mr. Depp was released the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp.
I absolutely had nothing to do with that. I wouldn't even know how to do something like that.
You just send the picture
Contact
to
the
TMZ.
media.
Yeah, what is you talking about? See, this makes you look now. Again, it's another credibility hit.
You
Yeah,
settled your divorce from Mr. Depp in August
that's a
of
phone call to
2016,
TMZ.
right?
Come on, even an email.
That sounds right.
And in connection with that settlement, you received $7 million from Mr. Depp. True?
That's correct.
Here we go into
And
the
then you
6.8 exactly.
6.8.
This
Your
is not
settlement
go well
amount was
for her.
$7 million.
That's correct.
And then you released a statement in which you claimed you would be donating the entire $7 million to charity, right?
Here we go.
That's correct.
You stated you would be donating half of the $7 million to the ACLU.
Mill does a great job of having
That's
that
correct.
tick, tick,
and you'd be
tick
donating
of
the
the
other
roller
half to Children's
coaster
Hospital
before we
Los
go.
Angeles.
That is correct.
And you also stated, with respect to the $7 million divorce settlement, that money played no role except for the extent that you could donate the money to charity.
Yes, that's correct.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1259. This is an article entitled Amber Heard Donates Johnny Depp Divorce Settlement to Charity. Read her statement in full. Is that correct?
That's what the title says, yes.
Directing your attention to the portion on the second page where it says, quote, read the statement below. Is that the statement you released, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to admit the statement and the article as redacted.
Objection, hearsay.
How can it be hearsay?
her
She just said
statement.
it's her statement.
This is not her statement.
That's
This is some-
definitionally
just
party
testified, Your
opponent.
Honor, that it's her
Yeah.
statement.
She just literally said it's her
May I
statement.
see the full?
Everything else is redacted.
By the way, it's
Okay, then I
interesting
will-
that
Alright,
this is the
1,
one
2,
that
5,
really
9,
ticks
and
her
10 that
off,
says
not
redacted.
any of the commentary about her lying about the actual
statement reads,
abuse.
As described in the restraining order and divorce settlement, money played no role for me personally and never has, except to the extent that I could donate it to charity, and in doing so, hopefully help those less able to defend themselves. As reported in the media, the amount received in the divorce was $7 million, and $7 million is being donated. This is over and above any funds that I have given away in the past and will continue to give away in the future. Did I read that correctly?
That is correct. I don't remember that last line, but I have no, it doesn't stand out to me as wrong.
There's nothing inaccurate in the statement.
Not that I recognize, no.
Mr. Depp donated $100,000 of the divorce settlement directly to the ACLU. Is that right?
Right at the beginning of the divorce settlement, he donated $100,000 to each charity on my behalf or towards my contribution
So $100,000
to each
to the ACLU.
and to the Children's Hospital.
And in response, you publicly demanded that Mr. Depp pay the divorce settlement directly to you instead of the charities, right?
That was always the agreement, actually, is for him to pay
Can we
me
pause
directly.
for 1
It was not
second just
his
so I can
money
explain
as
to the
per
chat the difference
settlement
between a
agreement
pledge and
to
a
give away
donation?
and reap a tax.
Because she's going to
Okay, go ahead.
conflate these terms. A pledge is a non-binding agreement to provide funds to a charitable organization.
I
And
will
there are
give you
certain-
this money. Yes.
Right, but it's not binding.
No.
A donation is actually when the check clears.
I
And
give
she's
you the
going
cash.
and she's going to conflate these terms repeatedly.
Now, and there's not only a legal difference. Everyone knows the difference between pledge and donated. Like right now, I'm going to pledge $1 billion to the Amber Heard Foundation. That doesn't mean I got to give him $1 billion, right? But if I cut
Right.
that check, then it's donated. So you know, this.
Well, and you can have structured pledges, and that's exactly what occurred. She never made good on any of them. Is the
Yes.
problem?
And she's not legally bound to make good on them. Because
No,
it's
she's
it's
not.
a gift.
But she
That's
also
benefit
took
from.
benefit of the
I said if
publicity
he
of
wants to do
doing
it and give to charity all of a sudden, then he should pay the correct amount and not try to get a big tax break for it. So effectively for his tax bracket, he should be paying double that amount to the charity directly. And if he wanted to pay the charity directly, he could. He could do that, was fine with me, but he would need to pay the adjusted amount.
Ultimately, the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement was paid directly to you, right?
Over time, yes.
And Mr. Depp didn't end up paying the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement directly to the charities you identified.
That is correct. He paid them installments to me.
You stopped that from happening, didn't you?
I don't understand what your question is. I'm sorry.
You stopped Mr. Depp from paying the charities that you had named directly.
That is incorrect. I said if you want to pay the charities directly, pay the adjusted amount or pay as per our agreement in the settlement or in the divorce as per our agreement.
Pause
You
on
also
that
And
one.
he
Publicly-
chose to do the former, not the latter. I mean, the other way around.
You also publicly stated that the $7 million divorce settlement should be paid to the charities immediately in full, right?
If he wanted to pay it in the way that he was suggesting, yes.
And you said publicly that the payments to the charities should not be drawn out over many years, right?
This doesn't make any sense.
I said that
No,
I
so
don't,
can you
I don't
pause on that
recall
one?
the
Because I can
exact
kind
words
of
that I
explain
used,
it.
but basically
Hold
that
on.
he
Let me-
shouldn't
let-
use this
let
as
him finish this.
a novel interest in getting a tax break, that if he wanted to do that and not pay me the settlement, that was fine, but he would have to pay the adjusted amount and not make it, a commitment he would not fulfill or try to avoid in some other way.
Well, hold on. All right, so she says I'm going to give the $7 million to the AC to whatever. If he gives them the charity $7 million, what difference does it make, right? That
Well,
if he
so
gets a tax break or not. She doesn't want. She's upset because he's going to get a tax break, so he has to give 14 mil. Go ahead.
I think that she's saying, pay the adjusted amount because this was part of a divorce settlement, which I believe is taxable. And so he would have to pay the benefits minus the deduction plus whatever her potential liability would be so she could take the tax benefit. So he'd have to pay the donation plus her tax benefit.
Yeah, but again,
that's what when she's going with the adjusted amount, she's trying to play games there. And her biggest issue, I think, is she wants the money. She does not want him to benefit from it. And so if the adjusted amount in my mind would be, what is, say it's 7 million to the ACLU, just to make it easy.
Well, go ahead. 7 million to the ACLU. Sorry.
All right, 7 million to the ACLU plus whatever his potential tax benefit would be. I don't think that she personally understands that charitable contributions are a deduction. They're not a credit. I think she thinks that they are. And she doesn't have that. She has that odd concept there between what is a deduction and what is a credit.
Well, you know what? I don't want to go too much with a tangent about deductions and all.
Yeah.
Let's play it out because it's we get too deep into tax stuff. Because she's gonna hammer her home with this. So.
And that's because you wanted the entire world to think that you were donating every penny of the $7 million divorce settlement as soon as you received it from Mr. Depp. Isn't that right?
No, I was going to be receiving it in installments, and I would be paying in installments the donations.
And then she'd receive the deduction.
In fact, you released a statement in response to Mr. Depp's $100,000 donations to the ACLU and CHLA, didn't you?
I don't recall.
Let's see if we can refresh your recollection. If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1260. This is an article entitled Amber Heard and Johnny Depp Row Over Divorce Donations. And if I could direct your attention to where it says, I believe it's on the second page. Her spokeswoman responded in a statement. The language that follows the statement you released.
Hearsay, spokeswoman, it's not her.
A spokesperson.
It is her. Spokesperson is her. Oh yeah, spokesperson.
This goes back into the agency party opponent statement issue.
Yeah. If it's her spokesperson and she authorized it, then the statement is hers.
Yes.
Let me knock down some of these super chats before I fast forward it because they're gonna have the hearsay objection here. Having to qualify every single yes or no response equals BS. Yes, yeah. We know what's going on. I can't stand her attitude. She John, have you noticed how she changed emotional range? Like before, she was all, emotional, but now she's very yes, no.
I think somebody
no.
told her stop crying because it's not working.
The next one. Tail.
You released a statement.
Can we approach again?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight.
There
this
we
one
go.
out. I don't know about you guys, but when people I care about are nodding off to drugs, I take photos to help, to make it makes sense if you don't think about it. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys, but when people I care about are nodding off due to drugs, I'm not sure. I take photos to help.
I get it, but I wouldn't go send it to a handful of friends.
My friend, yeah, to make fun of the person.
I might bring it to the person when they sober up.
Well, I've done that in college and stuff when people get drunk and you take a picture of them and you'll send. But I'm not trying to embarrass them. I send it to them and we'll have fun.
But that's the issue: is what is your motivation? Why is she sending it to Roxy as opposed to just bringing it to Johnny, being like, "Hey, maybe don't do this."
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said.
This is Ronimus Maximus said, "How was the beer in the pint glass? Still frosty cold after sitting out all night."
That's a good argument for saying it's staged.
Donna, would you like to see?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it.
No, that's right. That's fine. Thank you.
I think they're trying to show that the picture is a setup as the other ones. My opinion. I agreed, Maria. That makes sense. That just makes so much sense. Hobo Jim says, if your nose is broken or fractured, you develop black eyes, raccoon eyes.
Could you
When
please
you
turn your
blow your
microphone on? I'm
nose.
sorry.
That's true.
It's our fault.
That's why
Sorry,
boxers
sir.
have their
Your
nose
Honor, They
swabbed.
gave me a redacted, but I don't have the unredacted to be able to see the full
I
document.
plan to
Amber is
admit
either
it,
a liar or a
ask that it
boxer.
be admitted in redacted
Great
form.
format,
I'm
by the
taking away
way.
any hearsay,
Thanks.
and I'm just trying to lay the foundation that this is a statement she released through a
She swore
spokesperson.
in the
How
UK
would I
court that she
know
donated all
whether
the money. We haven't gotten there
there's
yet.
more to it
Eleanor,
that
We're
should
getting
be
there.
drop-
Stop
dropping-
giving.
See the full
yeah, drop it.
Stop
Extra.
with the spoilers.
Amber Heard got 7 million plus tax break. Yes, she did. She got 7 million plus the tax break. And this is Heart of Inspiration. Divorce settlements aren't taxable income. Okay. She was just being ridiculous and controlling. Great
Your
job.
Honor,
Love
the
the
witness
channel.
can
Thank you.
testify as to whether this is a full statement or not.
The witness can't do, we have the right to be able to see the
To see the
document.
yeah,
Do you
they have the right
document
to
that's
see
not
it.
redacted?
To see
We
the
can pull it up on
unredacted
our
document. They are
computers.
right.
Just give us a moment, Your Honor.
Right.
I can represent this is the full statement that's reported.
I understand what Camille wants to do, but
For an
yeah,
opportunity to look at the
you-
unredacted.
if I'm Amber Heard's counsel, I want to see the full document. How do you feel about that?
This is the problem that I've had with this trial the entire time is it feels like it's incomplete discovery every step of the way. Why do we keep having redactions, non-redactions? Like, why is failing to produce a privilege log blows up your entire case anyway? Like, why is that the way that this is procedurally going?
Well, the good thing about the replay, people, we get to fast forward.
No, but what do you think, Nate? Because I'm genuinely confused as to why
Well, I
these
understand.
were
We'll take
redacting
care
on
of
the
that.
fly.
No, they did the opposite. They redacted it. They redacted it and didn't bring the original. So they had the redacted version to give over. But Camille is right in this instance. She's like, yo, I need to see the whole thing so I can see what you redacted out to make sure that that there's no context where something else should have been redacted. She's right on that. So that's what she's doing now. But generally, you would put both the redacted one is a published to the jury so everybody can see it with, for personal information, whatever, or hearsay or whatever. But then you have the other copy that the lawyer gets that's unredacted. So that's what
my
I'm
point.
trying to
My
figure
point
out.
at the end of the day is why is all of this not taken care of in the last year of litigation through discovery? Why is this happening in court?
Because I think they messed up. I think Depp's team messed up by just not bringing the original document. But it's an email away because so.
All right.
You're right though.
As
It
of right now,
it wasn't as
continue.
efficient.
We can, Your Honor, but I have an objection because of.
So now she has an objection to the full
Okay.
document. They're going to argue out that objection.
Released
This is-
an
oh,
statement.
here we go.
if you want to lay a
Is this-
foundation to that. Go ahead.
We'll go back a little bit
You
more.
released a statement.
Your Honor, again, she can't read it. She has to show it
The
to
language
her.
that follows.
If you want to lay a
Is this-
foundation to that. Go ahead.
You released a statement after Mr. Depp donated $100,000 to the ACLU and $100,000 to CHLA. Correct, Ms. Heard?
Yeah, they haven't given
I think
them
so,
full
yes.
discovery.
That appears.
And
to
the
be
language
case.
that follows is the statement you released in response to Mr. Depp's donations, right?
I don't know if this is the official statement. I have no idea.
The statement that starts at
Objection, Your Honor.
Amber Heard. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Would you please read that to yourself, Ms. Heard?
For being so high profile, discovery here appears to be really sloppy prior to trial.
Yes.
Did you read all the way to the very bottom where the last word is supported?
I agree, 100%. Discovery, but it's so many pieces though. It's about 4,000 or 5,000 pieces. That's a lot.
Well, $6 billion on her side, apparently, according
Yes.
to Joe.
That's a statement you released through your spokeswoman after Mr. Depp made the donations to the CHLA and the ACLU. Correct, Ms. Heard?
I do not recall exactly what my statement was. I don't disagree with anything in the statement, but I just simply don't recall what the statement was we released.
Is there anything inaccurate in that statement, Ms. Heard?
No.
I'm going to move to admit.
Yeah, so she got it.
Objection, Your
Yeah,
Honor, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection.
she
Vote
just
1, 2,
laid the
0.
foundation.
She literally just set the foundation.
It's like right there. Here's the foundation. Objection, foundation. Like what? Did you just hear what happened?
Statement reads, Amber Heard appreciates Johnny Depp's novel interest in supporting two of her favorite charities, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union for Domestic Violence, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. This is great and unexpected news. And it continues.
We gotta kill some
However,
bots.
if Johnny wishes to change the settlement agreement,
Bots
he
are
must
dead.
insist that he honor the full amount by donating $14 million to charity, which, after accounting for his tax deduction, is equal to his $7 million payment obligation to Amber.
That's not
It
how any of
continues.
that works.
We
The
would
thing you
also
credit
insist
is
that the
supposed
full
to
amount be
deduction.
paid immediately and not drawn out over many years. Anything less would be a transparent attempt by Johnny's counsel, Laura Wasser and Patty Glazer, to reduce their client's true payment by half under the guise of newfound concern for charities that he has never previously supported, end quote.
That's not how that works at all.
Yeah.
Did I read that correctly?
But she wants to get in the
Yes.
whole part of paid immediately. So that
No, I
that's
know.
what
I-
we're getting to.
After
I
this,
just
you
hate
kept
the idiot
commenting about
reporter.
the donation of your divorce settlement, right?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. You spoke about donating your divorce settlement on a Danish TV show, correct?
I believe I said I had, I believe I said I donated it to charity, but it was already printed or already commented on and stated in the press. I had already released that information in the press. I think I just confirmed it on that show.
You appeared on a show called RTL Late Night, right?
I don't recall what show it was.
If we could please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 346, which
This
is a
one's
portion of your
juicy.
appearance on this program. And we would ask that it be moved into evidence and
Any-
ask for
any
permission
objection?
to
Your
publish
Honor,
it.
it contains, has hearsay, it contains other communications with other individuals.
Your Honor, if we may approach
Okay.
very briefly.
Yeah, while they do that and you
Ugh.
pick up, I'm gonna step back in 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. Give me a chance to get some super chats before I fast forward through this. All right. Amber Heard's team did not give full discovery. No, they didn't for some reason. I don't know why. Hi, can you explain Layla Foundation? If you're going to testify to a fact, I saw something, you first got to what's known as Lay Foundation. Explain how you were able to see it. I was there at the train station. I looked, I was going to work in the morning. I generally take the train at Main Street. I was there at 9 o'clock in the morning. So to give you to explain to the jury or the finder of fact how you're able to see or determine what you see, right? So that's what laying a foundation is. It just doesn't say, yeah, I saw the guy shot him. Well, how do we know that you saw anything, But if you tell them, I was at the bank, I was there cashing a check, I was able to see what was going on, I was there at 2 o'clock, like all those things are laying foundation, explaining how the witness knows what they're about to testify to. Britt Cummia says she does not care about the money going to causes. She wants him to pay more because he should pay. LOL. It's right. 14 million. Even with the 7 million, right? He gives it the 7 million. She's still talking about she wants to pay 14, which doesn't make any sense. Isn't this impeachment material and therefore wouldn't be in discovery? No. The thing is that for discovery, they ask for all injuries and all text messages and so forth and so forth. So a lot of stuff that Amber's saying that they have that she has should have already been turned over. And that's why Camille kept asking her, well, you were under an obligation to turn over all your medical records, turn over all these pictures, turn over all these messages. So if you don't do it, then you're not playing the right game. Here we go, gold digger. So they are under they're under an obligation to the court and to the other side to turn over this stuff, and they haven't done so. Let me fast forward it. Thanks for the replay. But now we can fast forward it to the questions.
Please play.
Here we go.
So if we could please play and publish to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 346.
346 in evidence.
And actually were all kinds of accusations flying your way when you said all this. And then there was a divorce settlement. You got $7 million. People were saying this is all about the money. But then you did something that twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States. It's called the American Civil Liberties Union, and they.
I do want to say, how easy is it she's just lying? Because she hasn't given them anything. Right? She hasn't given, she's given like $100,000. She was complaining about that. So she's now, with everything she's saying now, she knows is untrue. And look how convincing it is. Really, look how convincing she is saying what she's about to say. Everything she's about to say is untrue. It's a lie. Can you tell she's lying? Because we know she didn't. She had whatever. We know that what she's about to say is a lie. Can you tell she's lying? I'm going to put her on screen so you can see it for yourself.
They work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never heard
I wanted
of.
nothing.
There it is.
This interview was in October of 2018, right, Ms. Hurd?
I don't recall when it was.
It was in 2018, right, Ms. Hurd?
I don't remember when this was done.
This was after you had received the full $7 million of your divorce settlement for Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
Again, without knowing when it was recorded, I have no idea.
The $7 million divorce settlement was paid to you in full by February of 2018, right?
That's correct.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1458, which is already in evidence.
February 2018, she said, that's correct.
This is the deal point memorandum from your divorce settlement, right, Ms. Hurd?
Yes, that's what it looks like.
If we go down to the bottom of page 4, there's a heading labeled
no way to tell she's telling a lie because her
equalization
own
payment. Do you see that?
She's not telling a lie.
And underneath that, it outlines a payment
That's
schedule
true.
for the divorce payments, correct?
It's true to you. It's
yes.
not a lie if it's
Or
true to you.
begins to. And if we go on page
Good point, Britt.
page 5.
Page 5.
So the first payment is scheduled for August 31st, 2016.
That's when you know life is good. You get scheduled payments, $1 million payments.
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made that payment directly.
You got to turn on your microphone, Ms. Berderhoff. I'm not going to hear you.
Objection to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to. That.
Okay.
It's a he literally testified to it in court.
I'll overrule objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, she
Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified.
What
that
a
he
dumb
made the payment
objection.
directly to the ACLU
Yeah,
and
that's pretty
CHLA,
bad
correct?
I believe so, yes.
And then the rest of the payments were all made to you, weren't they?
That is correct.
And the final payment of $2.3 million is on February 1st, 2018, right?
The final payment, yes.
And you were here in court when Mr. White testified the payments were all made on schedule.
I'm going to object to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to.
Now, again, the timeline is February is 10 months
And
before
you were
the
here in
article came
court
out.
when Mr.
Yeah,
White
they get into that right
testified
now.
that the payments were all made on schedule.
You spoiled it.
Sorry,
don't
my bad.
believe they were. He might have
That's not
testified
my
to
question, Ms. Hurd. My question was, you were here in court when Mr. White testified under oath that all the payments were made on schedule.
that. I was here every day in court. I heard his testimony, yes.
Okay. So back to October of 2018, this was before Mr. Depp sued you for defamation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He didn't sue you until after the op-ed came out in December of 2018, right?
He sued me in 2019.
And the op-ed came out in December of 2018.
That is correct.
So in October of 2018, you had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement. You would agree with me.
That is correct.
And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp.
This is
That quarter.
correct.
That quarter.
So in this October 2018 interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity.
Straight
right?
lie.
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote.
That's
Right?
Abject
That's
lie.
correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I pledged it, right then.
And you say
See,
this
she's
because
interchanging the
you,
words.
quote,
Be careful,
wanted
folks.
nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety
No,
of the
Ms. Heard,
settlement,
that's
$7
not
million
my
to charity, and
question.
I
Ms. Heard,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Heard,
those
Ms.
obligations.
Heard, that's not my question.
Mm.
Please.
What was
try
your
to
I
answer
love
my
that she
question.
let her talk instead
Sitting
of
here
cutting her
today,
off with an objection.
You have not donated the $7 million, donated, not pledged, donated, $7
donated.
million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Heard,
But I don't.
I don't use it
Neither does
synonymously.
anyone else
That's how
on
donations
planet
are paid.
Earth.
Ms. Heard, respectfully, that's not my question.
This is how you control the witness, people.
As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of
Look at
your
the
own
woman
money
behind her
to the
laughing.
ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Boom.
Correct?
Don't worry.
I have not
Don't worry,
yet.
it's Johnny's
Johnny
fault.
sued me.
So as of today,
I have not.
you have not donated, paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
Yeah,
And
'cause
that's
you're giving
because
$6
you
million
did
to your
want
idiot attorneys.
Didn't you?
I didn't want anything and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it. I loved Johnny. That's why I was with him.
You wanted praise for donating the money, right?
That's incorrect.
You wanted good press.
In general, one does want good press, yes.
Yeah.
You wanted
Oh
to
my
seem
God, she's the
altruistic
worst.
publicly.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name and clearing my name. And at the time, I was being called a liar and my motives were being questioned. I did see it
How's
as
that going
important
for you?
to clear that up. I wanted to make a statement to make sure that there was not any doubt that I couldn't be labeled these things just because Johnny was a bigger star and
This
had more
woman has
publicity
no
reach.
soul.
You
My
wanted
God.
to remind everyone of your claims
Again,
of
how
domestic
is even that
violence
working for you
against Mr.
right
Depp,
now?
right?
No, I wanted to move on with my life.
You wanted to make those claims seem believable.
They are believable. They were
You wanted
believable.
them to be seen, you wanted to be seen, excuse me, as a noble victim of domestic violence,
I
didn't
have
you?
never wanted to be seen as a victim. Nor
That
have I
was
ever
literally
called
your
myself one.
article.
That
You
was
testified
the
under
article.
oath That, quote,
That's why we're
the
here.
entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote, didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
You see?
No. Ms. Heard, my questions. Your counsel will have time to redirect you after.
Control.
Love it.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement
Is she going to look at
was
the jury or is she going to
donated
look at Camille?
to charity, end quote.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
I'm going to move to strike everything after yes.
There you go. That's beautiful from a technical perspective.
Yep.
Ms. Hurt, this is really inappropriate.
Even
so
shook
save the
Camille.
objection And we'll just move forward.
Thank
Let's
you.
move forward.
Oh,
Next
Camille.
question.
Under oath, that statement wasn't true, was it, Ms. Hurd?
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question. Sorry.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That's a lie.
That statement wasn't true.
That is a lie.
Perjury.
It is true. I pledged the entirety to charity.
No,
we know
she
you're a
doesn't.
damn
When
liar.
you say you buy a house, you don't pay
Ms.
for the
Hurd,
entire
Ms.
house
Hurd,
at one time.
respectfully,
You pay it
I'm
over
not asking,
time.
Ms. Hurd.
All right, next question.
Yeah, you take a mortgage out of the bank and you pay the person
That
you're
statement
buying
isn't
the
true
home
today.
from.
As you sit here today,
You do
is it?
pay it.
It is true. I pledged the entirety.
But
to
you didn't
charity.
donate it.
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to to fulfill those
So that's a no, right, Ms. Heard?
I made the
Throw it
pledge. I want to be
off.
very clear. I pledged the entirety. I haven't been able to
See, I'd be
fulfill
like,
those
I
pledges.
pledged $1
because I've
billion
been sued.
to the
You
Boogity
had all
Woogly.
of the $7 million
That's different than donating, right?
for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities. You
She
pledged
got her
it.
shook.
Is that correct?
I
Ms. Heard?
disagree with your characterization of that.
Let's look at your sworn testimony from the UK.
Bingo! That's a bingo. That's a bingo. When we're talking about sworn testimony, when you hear, let's look at your sworn testimony for impeachment. Yeah, that means we got a bingo coming. What did she say? Let's guess, chat. What do you think she said about paying the charities under oath in England? Did she say she just?
Oh, she's not going to
pledged?
England.
Did she say
She's
pledged?
talking about what she said on Friday.
Oh,
or
okay,
last
so maybe
Friday.
No, but this is the.
She's going with this
deposition,
trial,
right? Oh, she's doing this trial first.
There's this light coming.
This is
across.
trial testimony.
I appreciate
Oh.
that. It's probably good light.
Let's say, what did she say?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Do we think she said she? What was it? She pledged, or was it? Did she say she donated? Come on, chat. What do you think she said?
This is your third witness statement that you submitted in the UK action, right, Ms. Heard?
Oh, she did
And the
start with
statement was
UK.
made under
My
oath.
bad.
True?
That is true.
I'm directing your attention to the last page of that statement. That's your signature, right?
Yes, it is.
So you made the sworn statement on February 26, 2020.
Are these the interrogatories?
That's correct.
And directing your attention to paragraph 4. It says, quote, I remained financially independent from him the whole time we were together, and the entire amount of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is
Chat was right.
Did I
She
read
said
that
donated.
correctly?
Yes, you did.
The him you were referring to is Mr. Depp.
That is correct.
Donated. Donated. Under oath.
That's perjury.
Donated. I donated. I just donated $1 billion.
Most of the money
to
that was donated to the ACLU and CHLA in your name came from someone else. Isn't that right?
I don't know what you mean by most of.
Well, at least $500,000
Nate-
that was
Nate,
donated.
pledge
to
me
the
right now
ACLU in your
all
name
of the
wasn't
super
paid by
chats.
you, right?
I'm gonna pledge you
I
$1
believe Elon made
billion.
a donation in my
$1
honor on
billion
one of the years.
Yeah, and it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement, right?
No, nor did it count towards my pledge.
And at least $500,000 that was donated to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles in your name wasn't paid by you either.
Right, those were made at the same time.
And it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement.
Nor did it count to my 3.5 obligation.
Those $500,000
Obligation.
came from your new boyfriend, Elon Musk, right?
That's not
he-
I'd be
I don't know
interested.
if he
I'd
was
be
a new
interested
boyfriend
as their
at the time.
accountants now.
You got him to pay part of what you promised to these two charities.
And
didn't
this
you?
makes sense.
Incorrect.
Why Elon does have to
Because
come
you wanted to
because
keep at least some of the
saying
$7
it
million
had nothing to do with the
divorce
case.
settlement for yourself, right?
You're
No.
very wrong about that.
I think this, if Your Honor is
Okay, you
fine,
said
this is a good
It's a
stopping
breaking
point.
point. Okay, that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll stop here for the evening. Remember tonight, do not do any outside research and do not discuss the case with anybody. I know these days are a little longer, and I appreciate your patience and your taking care of
Right.
everything here.
so
Please take care of yourself
they
tonight.
say watch
okay? And we'll see
watch
you in
to
the
the
morning
end.
at
They
9
say she literally almost runs out of here. So let's see. That's what we heard earlier. She like after the jury.
Anyone
leaves,
like
she
the
gets out
Dr.
of
Evil
there.
suit? $1
she does have the Dr.
million
Evil suit.
dollars.
This was devastating. That was
She's not
devastating.
helping herself.
No,
at all.
because she wants to be. If I were Johnny, I would look at her. My eyes would be wide open.
Again, Ms. Hurd, since you're still on the witness
You
stand,
can
please
see
do
me
not discuss
now.
your testimony with anybody to include your attorneys, okay?
All right, so let's see
All
what
right,
happens.
9 o'clock tomorrow then?
Suppose
All right, we'll
we
see
have
you
we have
tomorrow.
people in the court. What's it? Ian and So we gotta wait till the judge leaves. She had a bad day.
Nobody except including your counsel.
Yeah, she's
How
gone.
much do you think they're going to follow that rule?
She's out the door. You're like, yo, this was horrible right now, bro. This was horrible.
It was brutal.
Donated. Who confuses donated for pledged? Have you ever heard anybody confuse the two? Like, that's ridiculous. That makes no sense. Why fight on that? I pledged it. No, I haven't given it. Okay.
The only time I've ever heard pledge used outside of, a non-transitory promise was like old school freaking secured transactions courses. But in common parlance, a pledge obviously is, I pledge to do this. I don't necessarily know when or where or how.
And you know what? And it's interesting because, some people are saying that it doesn't really have something to do with the case, like the actual, but it does in terms of credibility. That just shot down her credibility to hell, right? That's because she's going out making these public statements. They were able they've built this skeleton, and well, I don't want to call it a straw man, but they've built this skeleton, and she's just every bone they're breaking easily. Her credibility is shot. She's even now, she could have easily given this up to keep some semblance of credibility. I pledged it. I've donated some. I plan to donate it all. Yeah, I got backed up because, it did take me a year. I was going to put it, but then just think, anything. But then to try to fight on this legal technicality, I think it hurt her case so much. It just hurt her so much. I just don't understand it.
It comes across because it hurts her on so many ways, because in a lot of the ways that she's comported herself, she comes across as legally savvy, and part of her whole situation is, I am kind of this ignorant individual. I didn't know any better, and what was me? But it's like, you're sitting there saying, yeah, pledge and donation are interchangeable, not to the rest of the world.
Not to anybody who has a half a brain.
Technical basis.
Yeah, anybody who has a brain will know that they're not interchangeable.
And I'm sorry, I'm not going to love somebody who steals money that they promised to a children's hospital.
But why not? Because again, I think this was the wrong hill to die on. If you're why die on this hill? Also, just for other people, I mentioned Elon Musk earlier. And I believe that's now the reason why Elon Musk wasn't called to testify. They may have put him on notice, but they didn't call him to testify. That's because when it comes to the money, the ACLU was the first one to brought the money in. I'm assuming the money that she's now saying the money that he donated had nothing to do with her pledge. So you know what I mean? So it doesn't implicate him, because
they don't need him anymore.
Because he gave the 500,000, and they were saying that was part of the pledge. The
reality is that her pledge is still not complied with.
Yes. Let me get these super chats. We get some questions. Yeah, so that was brutal. Tomorrow's going to be unbelievably brutal. Miss Ford says, new to the channel, but I'm going to pledge you $1 billion. Really? You pledged me $1 billion? You donated it. I only paid $5, but consider yourself billionaires. Cha-ching. Loving it. Thanks. Thank you for your $1 billion. 13 months between getting a full payment and saying I can't pay the charities because Depp isn't suing me. Yes, that's exactly what we just heard.
That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Is so you didn't pay your bills because after they were due, somebody did something.
A year later.
That's not a defense.
A year later. He sued me a year. I had the money. I said I was going to give the money over, but I held the money for 13 months. Got sued, and now say I can't give you the money because I got sued. Right, and it's not working out. Camille is ferocious. Yes, she definitely is. Enjoy the pledge, Nate. Another $1 billion, but it's Canadian billion right now. Don't let it be lost that Amber Heard was made to admit that she had $7 million for 13 months before JD sued. So that's not why she didn't donate it. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. She had the money. We all know that. She had the money. And you're so right. Electric Kitty says, isn't it weird that she ran out of the courtroom without meeting with her legal team first? She probably feels destroyed. She just was made out to be a liar and someone who doesn't give money to children's hospitals.
I imagine it's not going to get better.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get better. Think about it. She's been made out to look like a real liar here. This is not even close, right? And they didn't protect her at all with this one. They're like, but there's really nothing they can do because they knew this was coming. They knew
Well,
this was coming.
That was the great thing about Camille's cross was it was so tight, so clean. There was nothing to object to, and she just got to do her job.
Oh yeah, no, she killed it. She killed it. Let me get this next super chat. Where are we at? I got Electric Kitty. Yeah, she got out the room quick. But what do you say? You got your ass kicked. I pledge to match any donations you make, but you guys are way too rich for me. 100 million match, then I'm out. Whatever. Everybody's got $1 billion donations. Saka, you should have asked. You should have asked for the link. I'd have definitely sent you the link, Saka. Making a pledge for 1 million. And I have it. Whatever. Everybody's now pledging me billions of dollars. These are all legally binding pledges. Grammy Place says no one in history has ever used the term donated and pledged synonymously with each other. Amber Heard is lying. Yeah. I think that's an easy conclusion for anyone who's just been listening. I don't know why she's saying that she's using them interchangeably. It makes absolutely no sense.
And you got to understand, like in the minds of the jurors, they're looking at this and being like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah. This makes
because she didn't explain
sense.
it well.
Well, I understand. In other words, she's trying to make it seem like, hey, I'm going to do this anyway, right? I'm going to do this anyway.
4 years later.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's she said I'm going to do this, and I can't do it right now. I understand what she's trying to do, but it doesn't make sense now. You say you give that up. And this cross-examination is continuing on a different path. But to fight it, it just made her look so much more like a liar for trying to stop being a liar. You know what I mean?
I wonder if on redirects, Elaine's gonna try and rehabilitate that aspect and just make it worse because there's a decent shot of that.
I don't know. Are there any consequences when Amber Heard doesn't turn over the photos in discovery? It's called a negative inference, and then says that she did turn them over and testify to their contents. I don't. There's a couple of different things that can be done, but I think in this case it's kind of like because Camille was wrong too when she said they didn't get the medical record, but they got it.
Yeah.
So it happens on both sides. So what would have I don't think the judge is going to do anything too crazy unless it's like something really major. Then you got to bring the receipts.
I was a little surprised with some of the photos because my understanding is that they scrubbed some of the metadata where they reset the clock. I would have actually liked a jury negative inference prior to the reading of the law, but I don't think that's an extraordinary thing to do, and I just I would have liked it, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen, but it can. It's possible because again, these
but
pictures
if
are
she
screenshots.
Actually did implicate her lawyers.
She did.
She implicated her lawyers on not turning over actual photographs.
Yes, she did.
I would have liked a negative inference on that one based upon her testimony, and I think that might be a conversation tomorrow morning.
That would be an interesting conversation because, is that I don't know.
I don't know if you want to do that on the fly if you're asking for that sort of a remedy, but tomorrow morning when they have the night to prep it, I'd have that conversation.
Oof. That's I don't know. I gotta think about that one. Let me get this. Let me get this. Let me finish off the super chat. I heard about negative inferences, but not any ruling. Yeah, because it's a balance. It's a balance when you're talking about negative inferences. So I'm not sure.
It's an extraordinary remedy.
Yeah,
but
because that essentially means whatever the other side said was in there, that's what they're going to act like it was in there. So it's really, really bad.
But she kept referring to things that are not in evidence,
which is true. I don't know.
And she can't keep speaking that way without a negative inference coming in. And I think it's too late if you get to after closing and you just read the negative inference jury instructions.
Maybe that'd be a conversation tomorrow morning. That'd be a conversation tomorrow morning, like you said. I think that might be. If you're trying to get it, I would start sort of tomorrow with it.
Yeah. Anyway.
$2. Camille got a flawless victory today. Yes, it was a victory. I don't think it was flawless. She had a couple of bumps in the road, but it was, no doubt about it. Amber Heard's a liar. That's what Camille did today. Where's the pledge super chat YouTube option? Money keeps leaving my account. Tomorrow, bye. Whatever. Please run an experiment with Johnny punching her in the face to see what amount of makeup would cover a broken nose and damage due to rings. We all know. It's she's been made out to be a liar. My personality. I'm like a screw. I'm like I'm like screw the ACLU. I'm concerned about the donation to the Children's Hospital, undonated. That's true. I think that's the one I think is going to hurt her. The Children's Hospital one, I think it hurts because that's you're not giving out.
You're taking money out of
sick kids,
potentially helping sick kids.
Yeah. That I think is going to sting a little bit because that jury is going to be looking like, and then you're going to have to sit there and fight it, talking about, well, I really did give it, right? I gave it,
but she didn't, and we know she didn't.
Yeah.
Everyone knows she didn't, but I'm going to. I promise. If I win, come on.
1999 from Brian. It says, it's what makes Johnny so much more believable. He said, yes, I've done a lot of messed up stuff that I'm not proud of, but I never did that. Versus Amber's, I never did anything wrong at all, ever.
100%.
That is exactly what we've been saying. She's not giving up any ground to reality. This woman just doesn't give up any semblance of reality. Yes, I did something wrong. And she can't say, she can't say she's a human being. She's got to be perfect because I think that's the trick with the lie, right? I got to be perfect. This is Bob. Bob says, can I have my previous donations back because I mean to be pledges. I meant them to be pledges. Whatever. Pledges now. Thoughts on extortion letter? I didn't see the extortion letter. There was an extortion letter there?
Not today. There is one that's floating out there, but it's mostly like an offer to settlement letter that got leaked.
Oh, that's interesting. I definitely want to check that out. Grab up these couple. Sorry, I got some more. Got people coming in. This says, I bet JD feels so good today in court. Oh yeah. If I was JD, I'd be like,
a good day.
I'd be like, oh yeah, baby. I'm talking about this was so bad. This was so bad. I'm keeping it 100.
It's not getting better for them, and they had a week to try and figure out what the hell they wanted to do, and
Yeah, this was just bad. It proves that she lies for her own benefit. I don't see what other conclusion you can get out of this. I don't see that. This was bad. Yeah, this was so bad. Nick Lamar Suda says, "Don't fight with the lawyers. Just digging a hole. Let the lawyer clean it up on." I think you mean redirect.
You redirect.
Yes. And that's what happened.
She did a good job not fighting with Camille, honestly. I have to give her some credit there. She really did not punch back super hard.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, it seems like she was actually she was like, all right, I'm going to eat all the inconsistent. I'm going to eat them all.
Yeah.
But when it came to this, she didn't want to eat it. And when she didn't want to eat it, that's what made her look like even more of a liar because she had eaten all these other ones. But this one, she doesn't want to eat. And then the excuse, and then when you have this lame excuse on the fly,
that was the strangest thing, though, is that she sat through Camille going after her on the abuse issues. No problem, was totally chill. And then when it came to how she used the divorce money, that's when she suddenly got upset. And that's just strange to me. It doesn't make, there's something there that's incongruent.
Yeah, I think, and again, I'm just shooting from the hip.
I'm not trying to speculate.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's just so weird. You don't give up that. It's such a stupid nothing thing. that forces you to, it's just like, why not just say, okay, I didn't give it, yes, but I will. As to the question, it also speaks to her claiming she wanted nothing from him. Yes, it does. Yes, to look like the gold digger, which seems like she has a fear of. When it was
Nate, it was all the lawyers that wanted the money.
When it was clear she wanted his money and prestige. She wanted the money. And I don't know why she's playing like she did. Because the more you say she doesn't want the money, the more it makes it seem like she wanted the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think. Go ahead, John.
I agree. No, I just agree.
I don't think you can get out of that. Thank you for the $5. It's the awkward moment when you could have gotten away with millions of dollars and decided to write the article that ended up exposing yourself. Yes.
You played yourself. That's
yeah.
the only. What's the hip hop station in New York these days? I forget the.
Hot 97 or
Hot 97.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah. Congratulations, you played yourself.
She's the only idiot that gets $7 million, lies about giving it away, gets sued for $50 million for lying about the This is
been
crazy. $5 Australian. Me Too movement. And I quote, the self-defense when a woman fights back, but it's mutual abuse when a man fights back. End quote. That is kind of what the doctor said. I love so your testimony under oath is your lawyer did not do their job. Yeah, she did laugh at that. Remember that one? When she threw the little lawyer under the bus a little bit. It's
Yeah, but if he knows everything is somebody else's fault, whether it's the divorce lawyer, her own lawyers, anybody, it's just
it's
tough.
It's well, she's doing it to herself though. She's doing it to herself. My lawyers are bad lawyers. Britt Carmi, that you're right. I do like it too. Malcolm says Amber has to commit to the lie now, even though it makes her look dumb, like the meme of the guy testing his girlfriend's parents. He didn't know what a potato is. I think you're right. I think at this point, but there's certain points you fight on, certain points you don't. Like I would still commit. If I was her, I would still commit to the lie. I donated, and they say, "Well, I say, yeah, I pledged, but I donate to somebody. I pledge. Oh, you only donate? Yes, I only donated a little, but I'm going to give them the money. That's it, right? You don't really fight with the whole. No, I think pledge means donated. So nobody believes that, right? So that's what I'm talking about.
You could have walked out of that line of questioning so quickly by just saying, "You're right. I didn't get around to it yet, but I will."
Yeah.
And I
Natalie!
still am committed to that.
Hey.
Hi, Natalie.
Hey, Natalie. Do you know John?
No, I don't. Hey.
Oh,
hey,
John,
Natalie. Nice to meet you. I've been watching you for, about a year now.
Oh, wow. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We're answering some super chats and going over these questions. How'd you feel about what happened today?
Oh, my goodness. I thought, first of all, about Direct, I thought it was disorganized because I wouldn't have ended how they ended, especially with someone who's supposed to be this horrific abuse victim. She got combative with her own attorney, which was interesting.
Yeah.
And then on cross, she's getting destroyed. Best cross-examination I've seen in a live trial in a long time. I just textbook perfect cross-examination. Loved it.
Yeah. She I know that's why she ran out of court, because she's like, I gotta go through this crap tomorrow. Tomorrow I gotta come here and go through this whole thing.
Absolutely.
But I will say this: you got to give credit to where credit due. John, he's over here, did call out a lot of this cross examination. So John, they got to give you credit. You called a lot of this strategy too. A lot of this was yours. So
tell me how.
Go ahead, John.
No, it was a bunch of us. I think Nate absolutely made the point about sort of the money and coming in sort of hot in the lies. My whole thing was just go through every single harrowing incident one by one. Never saw medical attention. There's no medical records. Who did you talk to? Anyone? No. Move on to the next one. And she was real surgical about that one. And she got through the entirety of her entire direct of all of these awful things in about an hour.
Yes. Yes.
And it was clean, it was straightforward, and made sure that everybody knew you have no idea. She has no idea what she's talking about, and I have no idea what she's talking about. So, it's a wash, and she needs more than that.
She also did something that was very bold in the way she opened her cross, which is it's a valid strategy, which I myself personally shy away from because it's so risky. But here she did it so well, and that was asking the ultimate question. Basically, you're a liar, aren't you? Right?
Yeah.
Again, now where you know the witness is not going to agree with what you said, in fact, she's going to disagree, and that witness can get away from you. But Camille had such an excellent witness control. I mean, she didn't allow her to wax on poetic about what a victim she was. That she held her there and was just like, no, you wanted the money. The money was important to you. You wanted the fame. She's never going to say yes to that, but it was for the jury to hear it, and for the jury to hear the question and have that question in their minds during deliberations. Well done.
Oh, and that was such a beautiful way to end it, which I have to give Nate and I have to give a bunch of other folks on a lot of credit, because I thought that would come across as too dry, but she had a really good way of just sort of sticking that home in a way that it's going to stick in folks' minds tonight, and it's a great setup for tomorrow.
Her credibility shot. It's totally shot. Like now, I don't believe anything she just testified to for the last 2 days, just off that hour and a half cross examination, and we got a whole nother day to go. Right?
if you're willing to lie about the meaning of donate, and you refuse to accept what the meaning of donate is, you're willing to lie about anything, because it's such a simple thing. No, I didn't do it. If she was being honest, no, I didn't do what I said I would do. I didn't do what I swore under oath I would do. I didn't do what I made press releases about that I would do. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't do it. But I didn't do it because I was out of money and I needed the money, even though it doesn't make any sense because 13 months had passed. But stay there. Instead, well, when I say donate, I mean pledge. I mean pledge. No one means that. No one. And no one's going to believe you.
But
let me ask you, because you put sort of the I'm going to give the apology tour sort of thing. Is there another way out of that? Because that apology tour, your credibility is still shot. I mean, how do you rehab that?
Sometimes there is no way out but through, meaning it wasn't intentional, right? Life circumstances came up that I did not anticipate. Moving $7 million is not easy, right? Like, it's not easy just to get $7 million out there. That someone willing to fall on their sword minimizes how important the bad thing is. When I have witnesses that are adversarial to me, that's like police officers sometimes, they can, I'm going to just give you guys an analogy. In interrogations, police officers are allowed to lie to suspects when they're questioning them. Yep. And so if they do, and I'm not saying this to be rude, it's just something, it's a tool they're allowed to have. So if they do, when I cross-examine them, I say, so when you said this to my client, you were lying, right? You didn't actually have any DNA. You just said that to get him to confess. And ultimately, they're going to say yes, right? But if they say, well, we could have had DNA. DNA was a possibility. Knowing that you had no DNA, your credibility is shot. So just admit it. Just say that you did the thing, Give a reason for why you did the thing, and then move on. A lot of times the jury will set it aside and they'll say, okay, well, they lied about that, but now they're telling the truth, and they're going to tell the truth here on out about everything else, and that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Accept the defeat on the mundane point and don't make it anything bigger.
Yes, exactly.
Let me get to this. Is Mike says Camille got a 10-8 round today. It was close to a 10-7. That's for this is a boxing reference. You get knocked down once, it's a 10-8 round. You get knocked down twice, it's a 10-7 round. Mike, the boxing reference. I like. Cat Ford says, Did you yes, reference. Did you ever see when Camille asked, weren't you worried, scared about the monster finding out after sending the pic of his passed out to her friend Amber? Why would I be scared? Mic drop, then silence. That's true, because I think we lost Natalie. I suspect that if she's saying that she's all scared of him, and then when she asks her, well, if you did it, why, then when she says at the end, why would I be scared? Because you just said that he's beating you up. You're saying he's doing all these horrible things to you, but yet you're not scared of sending embarrassing pictures out to his friends. It just, but again, with that, it doesn't make sense, even in the whole context of the story, because she's making him out to be this horrible monster that she's afraid of, but
Right.
yet taking pictures and sending it to her friends and making fun of him, and like these they don't match up.
There's going to be more in that theme with her, Camille and Amber, because she's going to go in on, okay, you're so afraid of him, but you shit in his bed. You're so afraid of him, but you did this. She did so many antagonizing things to him. And then at the very end, you're begging him for a hug and begging for him not to leave you. Please give me a hug. Please. I just want to talk to you. But you're afraid of him? You're right. You're right.
Well, I'm wondering, the both of you, just genuinely, she already went through kind of the incidents in a very light way. Tomorrow, you think she's going to circle back and start going through each of them in a little bit more detail, or do you think that that's enough and you just let it sit?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You definitely.
I think that she's going to she's going to go into a chapter where she delves more into the inconsistencies between deposition and the UK trial. I think that's where she's going to go at some point during her cross. There's too much left unsaid there. She has touched on it some, but that's where it was like, oh, there's no pictures of these things, and then you said this and you said that. There's going to be more things where like she's created more assaults and things over time. I think she's going to get into that.
Yeah. And they've gotten more detailed and stuff over time, because I think right now she's already won the battle, but now you don't want to have any negative returns. So I think you stick with a strictly factual retelling of events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fact, and now you can't be hurt, right? Fact. You said this. You said
this in your prior deposition. Yes, you said this during chapter verse of your trial testimony last week.
It's just,
and you just go one by one, just run through them.
But you end on a big lie. Something that we all know, right? So I don't know what that question is for her, but there's a big lie or something that she wants to end with, and a he said she said case. If you end like that with all these lies matched up with something nice at the end, then
right, so
it's not a he said.
If you had to pick the biggest lie to end on, what would it be? Natalie, I'm really interested in your opinion.
Oh wow, that's tough.
But again, it's got to be limited to what she hasn't already testified to, because she's already testified to the charity, to those events, and it seems like
that's part of the timeline. That's what I'm saying is
maybe it's the severed finger. Maybe it's the severed finger, because that's a big event. She's saying he smashed the phone, but then she said to the security guard or somebody, "Have you ever done something you really regret?" To somebody that you love. And also when Johnny confronted her and said, "I lost a finger," and she blew it off, instead of saying, "Well, I didn't have anything to do with it." Maybe she ends there, because that's like pretty much like the worst scene in the relationship, and she's trying to blame it all on Johnny and saying that he severed his own finger. Maybe she ends with that. I don't know. It's tough to say. There's too much material to work with, I think.
And I think that's a good problem to have. That's always a danger to me, is that when you have too much to work with, it almost makes it difficult to kind of distill it down to a narrative.
I understand. I understand that. Yeah.
Let me get this super chat from Andrew. Amber Heard said multiple times today the Elon dono didn't count toward her pledge. Yes, she made very clear that it did not. But the ACLU guy testified that it did. No, well, just to be distinguished, the ACLU said these were donations made on Amber Heard's behalf, which we heard today, versus donations that went toward the pledge. But the ACLU was saying it was treating it as if it went toward the pledge, but it was on behalf of Amber. So
but of course they would, because that's silly, and that's all you can argue to the jury. That's just silly that you get $1 million from someone and you don't put it towards the $7 million pledge. That's just nuts.
Yeah. So, but she said it wasn't, absolutely wasn't. It was a pledge. from Elon on her behalf because she was so nice. She wanted to be nice to the
That's one of
ACLU.
those where it's like, who cares? It's an accounting issue.
Yeah. Amber Heard needs more than Amica and concealer for the lies. He says, ZV says, if I were on the jury, the biggest issue would be lack of a photo of a black and blue marks, only red. Why not take a picture after the bruise? And that's true, because one thing I kept finding is that she kept time and time and time again. She kept saying the same thing.
Yeah.
She was taking pictures of him sleeping, but now not taking pictures of the vital of the assault, right?
Yeah.
You're literally assaulted. You're saying your nose is broken and all this stuff. You don't take a picture of that, but you're gonna take a picture of him sleeping, right? It just like a lot of these things just don't make sense. It wasn't like she didn't have a phone with her.
Look at all the photos that she took, apparently, of the apartment during the cell phone incident, allegedly.
Yeah.
But she didn't take a picture of herself.
What? Yeah, she did. That's what she says. She did not take a picture of herself.
She took a picture of a wine bottle and wine on the ground, but not of her own face. It doesn't ring true.
Not
at all.
It doesn't. And the one with the arm bruise too. The arm bruise where she said her face was all brutalized. Yeah. And they showed it. They were like, we can see her face. She's like, yeah, like we know you're lying, right? Just give it up. We know you're lying. We can see your face. Nate, Lord Tube should get together after the trial and do a charity live stream to raise money for the Children's Hospital. That is a fantastic idea.
I'd be cool with that.
I'm down.
That's a fantastic. I would definitely do it, but we would actually just pledge it, not donate.
Exactly.
No.
We'll each divide it and we'll match our pledges.
That would be so cold, right? No, we donated. We pledged it. We didn't donate it. So we're not gonna pull an Amber Heard. That's actually a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea.
She
We
literally
should definitely
gaslit the entire jury. I still can't get over that moment. The whole jury she's been taking. How many days has it been? 11 days, 12, whatever. The whole time this trial has been going on, she's been making eye contact with this jury, speaking directly to them, building a relationship with them, to turn around and then lie right in their faces in such a transparent and obvious way. You've broken their trust at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Oh yeah. Mo says, does Johnny even have a chance to win this trial? After today, yes. He has a major chance. And I'll say the issue here is a classic he said, she said. This he said, she said isn't going well for the she said side, right? She said has a lot of lies. He said seems to be just like, yo, this is me and it is what it is, right? I'm an addict. I did this, but I didn't do what she's saying, right? I did all this other bad stuff. Believe it, I did. I'm a bad guy. I did a lot of bad stuff. But what she's saying I did is just straight up lies.
On the law, purely, is it defamation? I still say no.
I think the headline you got.
I don't think the jury cares anymore.
Yeah, I think. Well, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Natalie.
no, I think it's a good point about the jury maybe not caring about what the law of defamation is if they think you're just going to lie to our faces. But actually, I think on the essay claims that she made in the headline that she adopted when she tweeted it, I think Johnny wins, because I think that bottle incident is completely fantastical. It's just it just has nothing to back it up, and I just think it's just now coming up in court, if I understand correctly. No, I just
that's what I was going to ask was, I don't know if you saw, Natalie, but it was Amber's team that introduced Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, which is the tweet.
The tweet.
Because Depp's side couldn't get it in, and Amber's side brought it in.
What?
Yeah, she brought in her tweet of the article they brought in.
With the headline.
But didn't they kind of sort of have a stipulation that it was going to come in under Amber?
They did.
No?
I thought they did on the motion to strike, because they did talk. They talked about it.
Of the trial.
They talked about the tweet.
Maybe, but
yeah.
And when
they brought in the actual tweet itself with the headline, everything included. So there you go. Now you have adoption.
Yeah, I think that's the headline.
Which would have been your best argument on the defense.
Yes, but I think the headline, she's done, right? If you
Yeah.
don't believe her story, she's done on the headline. The other two, I think, are the ones that are going to be tougher because then you got his abuse. You got
But it's like you said, Nate, they'll split the baby.
Yeah, but that's still going to be a big money baby though. I still think think he gets hit hard because of sexual abuses. But then also, well, hold on. If they are splitting the baby like we're thinking, how then you split the damages? Because the DV is a thing that I think lost him his job. Nobody was really making a claim about the SA. They were talking about the DV.
From the
You know what I
jury's
mean?
perspective, I don't think it matters from a damages
don't think so
calculation.
either. You think
it's
Once
gonna
you
be
have
50 mil?
liability, I think they go all in on the damages.
Woo!
I think if they don't,
what do
they
you
give
think,
him
Natalie?
$7 million. I think if they don't, they give him $7 million, which is the amount that she should have donated to the ACLU.
That
would be a minimum.
That's justice.
In my mind.
That's justice.
Yeah, but I feel like they would think, first of all, $7 million
him
is
his
not a lot
money
to a
back.
juror,
Yeah.
and secondly, it's like that's what you did this for. You did this for the $7 million, and you don't get to have that
I
anymore.
could see a juror sitting there and saying Pirates 6, 20 million contracts and go that way.
Oh, okay.
I can see that too. Yeah,
I can see it.
I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get these super chats. Does Johnny even have a chance to move? We just answered that one. This one, Nate, good job. Oh, good job. Like your energy, but I love your channel, your charted summaries. Hold on. Why can't I read? Let me make this bigger. Nate, good job. I like your energy, but I love your channel summaries. I do like to do those too. Can you develop a balanced scorecard to keep your audience up to date? I have been doing that. There's some videos. Maybe I have to playlist them for you. You can get your colleagues to update daily score card that you summarize. So that's what I'm. All right. So that's what I'll do. I've been doing that, but I'll try because Alita's. You know what? It's weird because I do want to do summary videos, but Alita's videos are so good that I feel like I'm the only thing I'm gonna do is say what she says again. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I'll point people to her video instead of remaking the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because her summaries are and she just gets it all. Like I was like, matter of fact, I watch her summaries. Get caught up too. So it's just really good stuff. If you guys haven't watched Little Bites, it's really good. It's really good. This is Sunbar, but I'll figure a way to keep everybody updated. Did you donate? Yes, I've pledged. If she really used it interchangeably, she wouldn't have been scared to just say yes.
Mm-hmm.
She always has to say I pledged, and that's true. If you use them interchangeably, you donate it. Yes, and then she say no, you did. You get that fight, but she's right. She's not using
donated because it would be a lie.
It would be an outright lie. It's illogical.
Yeah. Amy says, watching Rob Lawn Lumber describe the in-person body language of the jury today made me feel more confident, hopeful about the defamation verdict. But I'm going to say this. But I do want to. Yeah, they were saying the jury was favorable to Johnny and not favorable to Amber. But I am going to say this though. Don't try to read juries.
No,
it's just not happening. Don't try to read juries. If you and don't feel overconfident about this case because you can go back there and that juror, we could have one juror back there. So all Amber Heard needs is one juror to say he's an abuser.
Yeah. I will give you guys some without giving you too much, but in the trial that I just did, my jury was very with me and during the trial. They were giving me all types of head nods, and, like there was one lady, she kind of pursed her lips and made a sound, and while we won on the top count, we sure did go down on the bottom count. So.
Like we like them so much, you're gonna send them away.
Yeah, exactly. Don't please never read too much into a jury. You never know where they're gonna go. Those head nods could just be like, "Oh, I'm hearing you," or this lawyer makes good arguments.
Lawyers. We just need a majority. We don't need your freaking unanimous decisions.
No. In this one, it has to be unanimous though. Virginia.
Is it
unanimous.
in Virginia?
Yeah, must
Virginia's
be unanimous.
It's unanimous. Virginia.
I would hate to practice there.
So I could see them getting a hung jury. I could see that happening.
It being hung, yeah.
But I think some of the people that were described as more skeptical in the beginning by other commentators might have been alternates, because I think most of the women are alternates. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We will see, but this is not going.
It's hard to
this
read the
is-
tea leaves.
It's very hard. Yeah. Brianna says, as a layperson, the moment where Amber pointed out the medical documents called her a male seems significant. Thoughts? Yes. What it did again to a layperson like me, that kind of made me believe those documents weren't. I couldn't rely on those documents, right? Because the documents called her a male in the documents. But what Camille did was it was a hit. She dropped it and moved on to something new. So we like that moment. I think is good, but we really weren't even talking about it. But I know you do med mal, so go ahead.
So from a practical perspective, those documents are automatically generated by just clicking boxes in a computer system. And so if you just click the wrong box, it's going to generate that way. And then usually the actual words are dictated. So the fact that it said male instead of female doesn't, to me, it doesn't mean a lot. And I could get an expert to come in and explain exactly how that works. It does impeach the document, and it says that somebody was not being super careful when they were checking the boxes, but it's literally a difference of, clicking yes or no on a massive form. And that's all that really comes down to on the back end.
Yeah.
But I
don't know if it's even worth trying to rehab that.
That's what I'm talking about. You got so much. Like we're not even out of 2014. I mean 2014, right? And we still got to go get up to 2016. So it's so much material. I don't think it's worth it. I think she dropped it. She got it. She's like, let me drop it and move on to something even better. Let's talk about children's charities and how much money you gave them. Right?
Yeah,
exactly. I think it was good to just move on. You don't need to explain it. There is an easy explanation, but it's not worth the time.
Yeah, and it's not even something Amber could even necessarily explain. It's just in your closing,
need to bring
you'll
somebody
have
else in.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's a waste of time. And in closing, you can just say, like, how reliable are these records anyway? And then just keep it moving.
Yeah. That's I think it's perfect. Amber Heard changed her testimony on the date of her first physical assault. This AM. Yes, she did. I will talk about that. And then her lawyers ASAP hyped her effort to remember the PA legally weird. All right. So what happens is that so everybody understands what happens over the weekend. Not over the weekend. Last week, after Amber finished testifying, TMZ released a photo of Amber, and the photo was, I don't know. Did you guys see the photo of her lip cut? TMZ Amber. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
I might be on my feed at some point.
I don't think I saw the TMZ thing.
Yeah, I'll it's literally right here. I got it. So I'm gonna show you guys these photos. Yeah, here we go. StreamYards, you're making my life hard.
Oh, StreamYard was attacking me earlier today.
Okay,
excuse me for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sure, of course. So this is the photo that was leaked to TMZ, and as you can see, her bottom lip seems to have an injury. Like I got to share. Stream. There it is. All right. So her bottom lip seems to have an injury. So this was put out by Amber's team, and they had it under the headline: Johnny's team doesn't want the jury to see this evidence. Amber Heard abused by Johnny Depp.
Why does it say "I shall return"? What's that all about?
That's his note that he's supposed to leave. Busted lip, and he write "I shall return." So TMZ gets this, and TMZ, they got to check everything, so they check the metadata. No, they didn't check the metadata. They show it to Johnny Depp's team to get the comment. Johnny Depp's team is like, "Yo, that's 2012. That's before she said anything physical ever happened, right? That's a year earlier." So they were like, "Well, here's the metadata." So they checked out the metadata on it, and it was like, "Yeah, the metadata says this picture's in 2012. Ooh. You said under oath that everything started in 2013,
right? And
you said it not only in this trial, but you said it in the British trial too, 2013.
Yep.
So this picture is irrelevant to this case because it's a year before, right?
Right.
Okay. When you said y'all were in love and everything was peaches and cream.
Oh yeah.
Fast forward to this morning. Amber now, no, then not fast forward, go back to now. So then TMZ went back to Amber Heard's team and was like, yo, we got the metadata 2012. You said 2013. So then they came back and was like, well, she misremembered. It was actually started in 2012.
What?
Yes.
What?
So she said she misremembered and it actually started in 2012.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Nate, stop. Are you serious? Did she testify to this?
Yes, she testified to this earlier today. Yes.
I missed that. Oh my God.
That she misremembered. So today she testified to it and said, "Oh, yo, I misremembered." So here's the article from TMZ.
That contradicts everything she's been saying from the very beginning. March of 2013, the first time he ever put his hands on me.
Yes, but that's not what she says here. So her team says she mixed it up. See, the depth team says it's 2012. Oh, let me make sure I'm sharing this screen. Nope. You see? I'm a bad. I don't know. Oh, because I put that. Yes. All right. So here it is. It says depth team tells TMZ the photo is from 2012. TMZ has seen the metadata, and we've confirmed that, right? Yet Amber Heard in the UK case, she said in a witness statement that the first violent incident was in 2013, like you said. So a source to Amber says she messed up the dates in the UK case. And once she got her therapist records, it showed that abuse started was early 2012. So everything is 2012. But she's been telling everybody it's 2013. So that was her issue. Remember the first time he hit me, the first time I remembered it, all that stuff. So she pushed it back a year, and that happened this morning. Which is more. There's no way this woman's telling the truth. I'm just going to be honest. There's no way I believe this woman's telling the truth. There's no possible way. No. If she is, then she's done a hell of a job fooling me with lies.
Well, that on its own, again, I think about my own cases. I can't help but to. But I'm thinking of a case of mine where we had a passport was our alibi. They said the abuse happened in a certain year of a bad nature against a child, right? It happened in a certain year. And she knows because of all these things they did and all these places they went here in the state of Maryland. And he was like, that's impossible. I was out of the country. I was like, get me your passport. He gets me. He's like, she has my passport. We go get the passport. And as soon as we request the passport and they hand it over, then they'd move the year back. And it's just, that's a major lie, guys. That's and of course I'm telling the jury this, right? And it's like, okay, that lie on its own, maybe you say, oh, faulty memory or something. As time passes, the years can kind of blend together. But that's not the only inconsistency. It's too many inconsistencies. And that's just ridiculous. Now you change when the abuse starts, when you've been so adamant that it started March of 2013. I have such a hard time with that.
That those lies build upon each other, and that's been the issue. They've been building upon each. But the first time I remember it so well, it was 2013, and because of that, I remember this, and because of this, now that's changed around now. Well, now you said you remember this because of 2013, but that actually happened in 2012. So how so it breaks up everything. So she's got a problem. That's why she ran out that courtroom today, because she's like, yo, I got a problem. Nick says, but. She just testified she is financially independent from JD. That was $7 million she did not have before. No reason you can't donate that money.
She ain't no damn financially independent.
All of this is exactly why she fought JD on the streaming of the trial live. Yeah, no, she fought because she knew this was coming out. She didn't want to answer these people to see her answering these questions under oath and looking like a fool. She looks like a straight fool right now. No doubt about it.
She looks terrible. And again, and it's just another lie. You wanted everyone to believe that you were financially independent of him and you didn't need his money. It's bullshit. That man is so astronomically wealthy. You are at that time a completely unknown entity. You ain't have $7 million. And once you really saw $7 million sitting in your bank account, there was no way you were going to let that go. Get out of here.
Yeah. She was happy. She got that $7 million.
She got what she wanted.
William Jones, his question: since she's just been proven to have lied in the UK trial? Would her perjury reopen a retrial in the UK case? Again, I don't know UK law, so
I don't know, but
can't help you.
Mm.
Could he go after Amber? Because here, no, we would be it would be what, res juste, right?
Res judicata.
Res judicata.
I'm sorry, yes, res judicata. I'm sorry.
And
It is
here
done.
it would be, but apparently from one, okay, so I've spoken to a UK attorney and I'm hoping to collab with one. But apparently if new evidence comes out in a civil case, they can reopen it. And this testimony could potentially be new evidence, but that's just highly unlikely and just doesn't
New
happen
evidence
all the
from
time.
another jurisdiction, though?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Any new evidence.
Okay.
It's sworn testimony, just like how we're using it for impeachment and cross and stuff here from the UK. It's still
Yeah, but
sworn evidence.
who would prosecute in the UK? Would it be
Not
Queen's
oh,
Court?
not prosecute, just reopen his civil case.
Reopen a civil case. It would give him grounds to reopen it. Maybe. Could he go after Amber civilly for court costs for both trials? I don't know for both trials, but for this one, if it goes that bad, he could. But I don't know if we've gotten to the point where it got that bad. Richard says, after this, can UK order her back for perjury? Possibly. It all depends on how bad it is. But it's looking bad, but it really depends on how bad.
Well, she wasn't a party in the UK trial. She was just a witness.
But she testified.
Under oath.
Under oath.
Right. So he would need to start a new case against her, what, in the UK?
No, what they're asking basically is, can the UK see her testimony here, see the inconsistencies, say, oh, you lied to us, and then bring her to the UK and charge her with perjury. I find that really hard to believe that they would do that.
Yeah, I do too. And if they're opening the case, they'd be reopening the case against the son. So that would be the son. This would be new evidence for that.
I also think that's unlikely.
Yeah, I think that's likely.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
Amber blamed Johnny, but could she damaged her own reputation by putting out that article and other statements? Could studios noticed it and her behavior and saw red flags and declared not to hire her? Amber blamed Johnny, but she damaged her own reputation. That's true. I don't know, because she was blaming Johnny because she's trying to, don't forget, she's trying to prove her defamation case too, which I think is out the window. I think her defamation case just was lost today.
I think that's toast.
On her direct? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I think when you start pushing things a year back, I think your defamation case is toast.
It's over.
But this was trying to prove her defamation case that she was damaged. So did it work? Yeah, it was all right, but I don't think it was as effective as they thought it was. So,
and I have a little bit of insight, which in my opinion, she benefited from her Washington Post article, and it was only after people started seeing the depositions and stuff like that that they cut her back in Aquaman 2, apparently. So it could just be you damaged your own damn reputation by the video depositions I don't think look very good for her.
No, they didn't.
So I think that's probably more likely what it was, that she started to get the stain of her own accusations, and then then they were like, I don't really know about you, and they started cutting her back. But also, you're just a bad actress, okay? Maybe that's why they cut your lines, because you're not a good actress.
Well, and I think they made it really clear that they're deeply unconcerned about her counterclaim. It just is not.
They're not.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, I think the depots and when the information started getting released, that killed it, because people, especially the one that said she hit him, because that made her into the abuser, and then people had to step back and say, hold on, we kind of maybe jumped the gun on this. So let's kind of see how it flushes out. This one says, look up bruise kits. It's a makeup artist kit to create bruises. She slipped up. Oh, I didn't know that. I got to look it up. Thank you for becoming a member, Michelle. I got to look at the bruise kits. That's something I didn't know. She was able to sneak pictures of Johnny to her best friend, but not go into the bathroom and take pictures of bruises.
Ding, ding, ding. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the cross.
There you go.
There it was. Yep. This is what you want the jury to go home and think. And how many devices did she have? 2. And how many was she using to take? She's recording them on, and that's why she even brought up him kicking around the kitchen, right? Because she was like, "You did that with your iPad, right? So you were able to take pictures on that, right? you did that job. So yeah, she killed her on that. This one says it's time for Depp's counsel to break out the Chewbacca defense. You took all these pictures, but not your injuries. This does not make any sense. You are 100% correct. That's exactly what we just said. We foresaw this super chat. Did she did she take a $7 million deduction for her donation?
That's all I
Would you-
wanted them to bring up because she kept going in on
I would
Johnny.
love to pull their tax returns.
Yeah, Johnny getting tax breaks and he shouldn't get tax breaks. Well, if you donate the money, then you're getting the tax. Someone's going to get the tax break. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we talked about that briefly, and I think that's sort of my perspective because not professionally, but I've reviewed some tax, and I think the reason she wanted the cash directly so that she could be the one to make the donation was that she would get the deduction because she probably has lower top marginal taxes or, some way of diversifying it where she would probably get a better benefit than Johnny would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I thought. I was like, oh, so he shouldn't get to reap the tax benefits. I'm like, girl, then you reap the tax benefits. You're wasting everyone's time.
Well,
with this
they're
argument.
acting like it's a credit as opposed to a deduction in the way
Right.
that they're
Yeah,
framing
yeah.
it, which is just wrong.
He's got
Well,
to pay
because-
double if he gives it directly.
He needs to pay 14 million instead of 7 because
not
he
how
gets
this
the
works.
deduction, and that's not how any
Yeah.
of that works.
No. Cue the old ladies in the Facebook ad, or that's not how any of this works.
No, the judge. Every time we read this issue out, it nags John. John's like, this doesn't work this way, and I can see John getting so frustrated. He's like, this is so
It's
crazy.
annoying.
Oh man, why didn't Johnny cross Amber with her IRS tax return? They may not have them. I'm not sure if that's part of the discovery request. Whatever her definition of donate is versus pledge is the IRS has a different definition. No, it's she knows
I
what
think
she's
you
doing.
could suppress that subpoena even if it came across. I don't know if that's necessarily relevant to the case in chief.
Yeah, I wouldn't. We don't need the tax returns. She knows.
No.
We know the difference between donate and
Yeah.
and pledge.
The point is just so
every single.
ridiculous.
Matter of fact, she
And
knows
it would take so long to actually get them to release them, even if you had a valid subpoena. So
Yeah, and for her too, even the fact that she personally, she made the distinction by saying, when she said you donated 7 million, she said I pledged. The reason why she couldn't say yes is because she knows there's a difference, and she knows people know the difference. If she said yes to I donated, she knows it would have been perjury.
Well, apparently, maybe her accountants might be as stupid as her lawyers. Apparently,
yeah, but I don't think she is that stupid because she didn't say I donated 7 million, right? She said I pledged. She made sure she did.
She'll throw anyone under the bus if you
Yeah,
give her
that
the
super
chance.
chat actually
That's
really
true.
picked up on the essence of it here. If she was just straight up out of her mind, she would say she donated, but she knows she can't say that. She cannot say the words "I donated" because she knows it's not true.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Let me see. Why wouldn't I be exactly, Miss Heard? You were never afraid of Mr. Depp because he was the victim. That's true. But she said, "Why?" When she was like, "You were scared of Mr. Depp," and she was like, "Why would I be?" That's true. Kathy Ford says, "Sorry to take up super chat, but Elon Musk has his own account with the ACLU, totally independent." As the ACLU confirmed, yes, ACLU guy said Elon put 500,000 toward AH bill. It was counted toward the bill. Even he even broke it down live. I'm sorry, I keep saying broke it down live. Yes, but he did make mention that. Yeah, he did mention that he was counting it toward the number. But I don't know, because
But who
today she made it
cares?
clear it wasn't part of it. But yeah,
Either way, she still didn't pay it.
yeah, and on top of that, she said, she hurt herself by saying that wasn't even part of the settlement. So
I'm less concerned about the ACLU as the children's hospital. So yeah, if the
Yeah.
ACLU wants to count it toward her account, I don't care.
that's fine. What about the children? I could easily see that playing out. Like, you ever see those things like, what about the children? Where you got the woman screaming.
Yep. Yeah, it's the old Simpsons scene.
Oh yeah, this is from The Simpsons. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me get back to this. All right. This says boom. Next one. Did I get this one? Let me make sure I did. All right. Yeah, it says, what about Amber Heard explaining her expenses with cocaine when she said she only did it a couple of times? It seems like I believe she's done it maybe a little bit more than a couple of times, and that was not accurate what she was saying. What do you guys think?
Oh, that she's just a straight up liar. I think she's a. No, don't say it. Don't say
My
that.
sister taught me a trick.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
just.
Go ahead, Natalie.
No, I don't want to get sued, man. But you know, you can't sue somebody for opinion, and this is just opinion based on what I've seen throughout the trial and the testimony and the behavior. I think she's a cokehead. So I don't know. I don't believe nothing she says about. You know, this is don't attribute this to Nate the lawyer. This is Natalie lawyer chick. This is my opinion. Allegedly, based on her behavior, I think she's a cokehead. So it was laughable to me trying to act like you're not familiar with cocaine. I don't believe you at all, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, and I was saying that, you know, not that I have any necessary personal experience, but yeah, if when Camille came in and said, "Wait, but wouldn't there be some residue?" It's like I actually I believe that there probably would be if you were doing lines off that table.
Not if you use their special secret that the sister taught Johnny that she knew nothing about. Yeah.
What a load.
But she knew enough about it, so when she saw it, she knew what it was. Yeah. Funny. She never used the word pledged instead of donated any other time she talked about the money, but she uses them synonymously. BS, please. I love you, Nate. And I pledge to send you $1 million.
Yes.
The next one. Whatever, Melody. That's good. How does it feel that Amber Heard may know you guys? That's true. All right, so just so everybody understands what happened. So you know, Ian, Rob, and the DUI guy, they all went to the courthouse. And they said Amber was looking at them stone cold, like in the back. They're staring them down.
Did they really?
Yeah, they were like, it was like maybe she recognized him or something. So that's what Ian was saying. She's like, she was just looking at them stoned.
Well,
like,
you know,
like
some
she
of her
hated them.
testimony led on that she's been watching the YouTubes about stuff because she was like, you know, to have to get up and see that I'm a liar all the time and everyone thinks I'm lying. I feel like the only place where people are calling her a liar is YouTube and TikTok. Like that's it. Everywhere else is with her. So, you know, I think she's searching her name on YouTube.
Nate and I talked about it. Mainstream's not exactly on her side these days.
Yeah, mainstream is not really on her side.
They're
And I got a
having a
whole
hard
video
time.
why I believe she's a liar. mushrooms are what are a wonderful thing. Yes. Mushrooms
I don't
are.
support drug use.
I would not know. I would not know. All I know is that Amber knows.
Oh, she knows. She
knows.
But now, here are $2, and I pledge 1 million more. We're never going to get over the $1 million pledge.
You just start racking these up in an account, Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start relying on it. I'm gonna go like buy a space shuttle. Like, yo, everybody made these crazy pledges.
Pledges. That means it's definitely gonna happen, right, guys?
See, the TMZ photo makes me think she's lying about her injuries entirely. A smirking photo with makeup could literally just be a bit lip, unrelated. Yes. But again, it was from a year earlier. Remember, they changed their timeline because of this photo, and they went into court this morning, literally saying everything we said yesterday about the timeline is off by a year.
Can I just give some like thought on that photograph, that so-called 2012 photograph that changes the entire timeline? The look on the expression on her face with everything combined in the trial, and you know, jurors are intuitive, they get to make their own decisions, and I feel like as a juror I would be thinking, had you been setting him up from the beginning, you know, with these like
I was thinking that too.
little minor fake looking injuries, like that little cut on her lip, that looks like you busted your own lip, like you bit your lip or something like that. It doesn't look like you got punched in the mouth. And so it's like, okay, or backhanded, and you look satisfied. You look like, I got him. You know what I'm saying? You're holding up a Post-it note with his writing on it that doesn't even say anything threatening, but it's cryptic. I got him. So I feel like I feel like from the beginning, it's like she's been setting this old guy up, right? She talks about he's old and everything, and he's successful, and that's what it looks like to me. It looks like she looks so cunning and deceptive in that. Look at her facial expression.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird to me. Like that's not. I've seen too many abuse victims. That looks like satisfaction, you know. And so I don't know, guys. It just seems like a setup. It just does.
Even the way that she presents herself in court, and yes, she has the very high cheekbones, but however
No, she
she's setting
doesn't.
up her makeup, it all well, at the very least, it looks like that because that's the only way
mean,
that I can figure out
she
how
bought-
those shadows make it look like she's been punched while she's in court.
She bought some very
Yeah.
high cheekbones.
All right, well. In any
Those
event,
are
she still
purchased.
comes across where there's some sort of shadowing going on where
Yeah, on the
it
cheekbone.
looks like bruises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are those are really, really bad facial implants.
Okay.
They are
I'll take your word for
They're
it.
really high too. They're like
they're horribly done. I don't know if maybe over time she's gained or lost weight and has changed the positioning of them, but they are absolutely cheek implants, and they are some of the worst I've ever seen.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Amber is only worth $8 million, and rumor is her child is Elon. Ooh, wow! And she signed an NDA, and he is still funding things for her.
I
Attorneys.
want nothing to do with that rumor. That
Ooh,
seems like a really
I-
good way to get sued.
I wouldn't even say anything allegedly about Elon Musk. I ain't got it like that.
This is from Marie. Just so everybody knows. I'm reading Marie's thing. I have assume with not testifying because Amber Heard blamed her. Okay, so Whitney, so she says this person assumes Whitney's not testifying because Amber Heard blamed her. I don't know anything about this. Maybe one of you guys do.
That's a genuine question. And Natalie, go ahead.
Oh, only that I find it. I know someone on Twitter said they were an insider and Whitney was going to be called to the witness stand. I really doubt it. I seriously doubt it because procedurally speaking, in the civil discovery process, you must do your deposition, and she's never done it. She's never completed it, I should say. So they shouldn't be calling her. And I think that super chat is right because she's kind of like undermining Whitney, whereas Whitney cannot get herself on the stand and rehabilitate herself. Like she could say anything about Whitney at this point because Whitney just cannot really get on the stand. So I think that's probably true. I don't know who that person was that was saying they were going to call Whitney. I don't see how that's possible.
But don't forget.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you were going to ask
so
a question.
If you don't have Whitney and you don't have Raquel, who's your fact witness now after Amber's done? Who? Anyone?
No idea.
I don't know.
Remind me of who Raquel is. Which one is she? I don't remember names.
That's
very well.
Raquel Pennington. She's the best friend.
That was
Oh,
the
is that
one when the
Rocky?
cops came. Yeah, when the
Yeah.
rocks came. When the two
So
remember
if
the two
you don't
cops
have
came.
her and you,
Yeah.
exactly. When the two
She
cops
was the one
came.
with the cops. Yeah, she was one of the cops.
Rocky's
So
not
if
going
you
to
don't-
testify.
That's what I had heard. is
That's
that
what I
she's
heard.
not.
She's not.
What is? They don't have a case then.
So
can't
if you
go
don't
up
have her and you don't have Whitney, you have no fact witnesses after Amber.
Oh, that's trash. I don't see how they intend to prove their case, and I don't see how they intend to defend her on her word only and an expert and what? I don't know. Like, so I guess some other experts maybe on the industry or something. I don't know.
I have
Maybe,
no
I
idea
don't know.
where. I have no idea what you do after that.
These people don't want to perjure themselves.
Oh
That's
no.
what it is.
Yes.
I'm doing a case of Amica cream to our local hospital. That stuff cures everything. It doesn't even exist. To
broken
be honest with
noses.
you. But you know, if I was an entrepreneurial guy, I would create Amica cream because it's everybody knows what it is. It's facial
It's
cream.
they're referring to arnica cream. There's a bottle
Yeah.
actually
It's
in
arnica.
the bathroom, but yeah, Jesus, this is such a mess on their side.
Yeah. It's like you guys didn't take the time to, okay, when you're playing defense, as Natalie does, you have to check your client's story. You have to.
Oh, of course.
Right?
That's the number one thing. It's if your client, I don't want to go too crazy, but if your client, if you believe everything your client tells you, then you haven't been doing this long enough.
No, you're literally out of your mind. No, seriously, and it doesn't mean that you don't care about your client. It doesn't mean that you're not a zealous advocate, but you're doing them a disservice if you don't cross-check their story. And whenever I have a client story, if I don't have something I can use to cross-reference what they said and make sure it's within the realm of reality, then I don't use it. I just don't use it at all, right? And everybody's different, but I just don't go out on that limb, because then you don't know what the prosecution's going to come back with. And here, although a civil case, there are plenty of claims that Amber has made that her attorneys have taken up for her, just whole cloth, with no verification whatsoever. Oh, we've got the Milani palette, we've got the Amica cream, we've got the this, we've got the that. You need to verify these things. You know, those are simple mistakes.
And not only, I can tell you from my
Nate,
perspective,
you're talking, but I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm going to ask you this. Oh, go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say, from the civil defense perspective, which is my background.
Okay,
some of the best value I can give to a client is, hey, we're kind of screwed here. Maybe we should, start talking settlement or what our alternative options are.
Yes.
Because Natalie, that's one of the issues. One of the things that for me, switching from civil to criminal, from criminal to civil, was this same thing about when in criminal, your clients, it's like they're not paying you, especially if you're doing if you're doing pro bono work, they're not paying you. So it's a little different, because in terms of, we're coming up with that strategy. But when you have a paying client like Amber Heard, she's paying for a defense, somebody's going to get that $7 million, and she gives you this story, and she says, I'm going to tell this story on the stand. Are you going to take that money and let her tell her story? I'm not going to support perjury,
right?
But I'm going to let her tell her story.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's definitely lawyers that do that, but you're not going to embarrass me in court. That's just how I always feel about it.
Agreed.
Like, if there, sometimes the relationship just breaks down, and you just get the money for the prep work that you did. But my advice to her would have been, okay, I mean, we're going to make our arguments, but we're not saying that, or this case is a dud, or we're just not saying that thing in particular. Let's find another argument, which there are other arguments there in this case. But if you have me to the point where, I'm getting debunked on TikTok, no, we're not doing that.
or even something as simple as just telling your client on some level, look, settlement's going to be this, and it's going to cost you a heck of a lot more to pay me to fight this, and we still might lose.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's just being an honest attorney. Which they do exist. I swear to God.
Yeah, no, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to advise our clients that, you don't have a chance, or you do have a chance, and these are what the problems are with your case. Yeah.
This one says, wouldn't it count as income and taxable, thus getting canceled out by the deduction? I know nothing about taxes. So.
My understanding is a divorce settlement is not taxable income.
Really?
I forget where I'm getting that from, so don't take my word for it.
No, I'm
but
thinking about it. No, I'm sorry. No, it makes total sense what you're saying. I just have never thought about it before, but I guess it wouldn't make any sense to tax it if it's supposed to be,
because it was already it would be double taxation in
right?
Theory, because it was already earned by the couple,
right?
Yeah,
you're right.
That would be
okay.
double taxed.
See, this is why I don't mess with tax law. It's scary. Go ahead.
Amen to that. As soon as they say taxes, I don't do taxes. Sorry. It says she pledged. She uses pledge and donations interchangeably. Did she take the donation?
The deduction.
The pledge. I mean, the deduction for the pledge. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I don't believe she. You can't take a deduction for a pledge.
No,
you have to give the money.
Deduction against the pledge.
But that's the point. That's the point William is making. He's like, that's what I'm saying. So obviously, it's not a donation, but you can't take a deduction for something you haven't already given away.
That's true.
He's with you guys.
You can't take a tax deduction for a promise.
And you can't call
the
a
IRS
promise
might
a
have
donation.
some questions about that.
Oye says, what does it mean to treat the witness as hostile? Wasn't Amber hostile today? Does either one of you want to take that up? A hostile witness?
Yes. Okay, so first of all, on cross-examination, at baseline, every witness that you don't call is hostile to you, right? So on cross-examination, that's why you're allowed to ask them leading questions, yes or no questions, like cut them off when they're not responsive to your question, all that type of stuff, right? Because the witness is hostile to you. They're not going to answer your direct questions in a way that is proving the point that you need to make or probative of the truth. However, what in the legal concept of, you might have seen it on TV, Your Honor, may I please have permission to treat this witness as a hostile witness? That legal concept comes when it's your own witness who's supposed to be friendly to you, that you can only ask non-leading questions to, right? You can only ask, open questions to where you don't suggest the answer to them. But they're not cooperating because either they don't want to be there or they've just lost it on the stand or something like that. Back in the day, they used to say, permission to treat the witness as hostile. And then the judge could do that. And then now you can cross the witness instead of directing the witness. However, that's an outdated concept that not a lot of courts have. So there's really no motion to treat your witness as hostile in order to cross-examine them. If you have a witness on the stand that doesn't cooperate, you have a witness on the stand that doesn't cooperate. Sometimes the person can attempt cross-examination and then be objected to, and then you'll see what the judge does with it. But that's what they mean by that. So she was not hostile with her own attorney to the point where she wasn't answering her questions. She was just adding in her own little zhuzh, her own little flavor, because she wanted to attack Johnny at the same time, and she was kind of getting away from her attorney, but she wasn't hostile to her attorney. She was still answering her questions.
And just to supplement that a little bit, there are a handful of jurisdictions that are starting to change the rules. Just like you said, it's a little bit antiquated. Is even if it's your witness, if they're there only under subpoena, a lot of courts now will just presume that they're hostile. Just to avoid having to go through the rigmarole of proving it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it makes it more efficient too.
It's a waste of time to, Your Honor, permission to treat as hostile and stuff. It's just like, you have to wait to see how the witness is testifying. And there was no reason for her attorney to treat her as hostile, but she's automatically hostile to Johnny's attorney.
Anybody who's an opposing party witness is immediately an opposing party witness. He doesn't have to necessarily be hostile. Hostile is your witness being treated like the other side's witness. Basically.
Oops. This is Blurry Light says, and the dollar was a divorce, and the money was a divorce settlement, not a charitable deduction, isn't it? Yes, it was. The money was the divorce settlement, not a charitable deduction, but then she said it was going to be a charitable deduction, and that's where the issue came in. She didn't give the money away. Britt says, Johnny has been an addict since before Amber's kid's sister was born. I'm sure that he needed lessons in coke use from the younger. And I ain't buying it. I agree. He's been doing lines right before she was probably born. She's like, she taught Johnny the new trick. Yeah. Marie says, Natalie is right. Her coke dealer says she used to inject it in her groin. What? She stayed up for days. Fellow actors have made YouTube about her coke use on set. Check out Steven and Jason.
Wow.
That sounds extremely unpleasant.
Well, I just say I'm in the school of Judge Mathis, growing up in a hard life. I know a crackhead when I see one, and I know a cokehead when I see one. That's all. I went to NYU. I know a cokehead when I see one, and that's all I'm trying to say. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
I hear that. Yeah, she does have that look. How long after her nose broken before she saw a doctor? All right, so we have no actual evidence her nose was ever broken. She's actually changed it on the cross examination to, I believed my nose was broken. Like it never was actually broken. So on direct, she was like, my nose was broken. He broke my nose. To, I believed my nose was broken. I work in personal injury. I wouldn't sign a client who hasn't sought medical care in the first 30 days. Well, again, if you're doing PI, I'm assuming you're doing that on contingency and not on a contingency basis. And I don't think you take Amber Heard's case on contingency. I think she's got to pay you a fee. What do you guys think? Do you think you take this on a contingency?
For sure. That's why there's no Amber Heard.
I want
v.
all of
Johnny
the
Depp.
retainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's paying everything.
How much do you
upfront.
have?
And that's why there's no Heard v. Depp trial, right? That's why she never sued him for abuse or anything like that, because that's the normal way a case like this would go. She'd be suing him for abusing her. That never happened because there's no way she'd be able to prove this stuff.
But why the $100 million is just a show, huh? Just a show out. Oh, let's just do $100 million.
Yeah, I it literally was like Texas Hold'em or something, like you're double or nothing. Like why did you I know he said 50, but where's your 100 coming from? There's no project that you had that would equal up to $100 million. Nothing.
Yeah, maybe future earnings. I don't know.
This woman's nuts. Her attorneys, when they filed a TRO, if you actually read it, they wanted attorney's fees in an ex parte TRO.
What? No, obviously not.
Are you serious?
That's not the way it works.
Let me see if I can find a copy. You guys keep going. Let me see if I can
No,
find
I
the
totally
TRO.
believe you. I'm
Yeah,
just
we believe
blown
you.
away
It's just insane.
by the insanity of that.
She wanted spousal support prior to the termination of the case. She's got some interesting.
So it's not about the money, but you're
advice.
asking for attorney's fees for a TRO. Like it's like $15 to file a TRO. As attorneys,
She wanted attorney's fees for the divorce in the TRO.
What?
Wow.
She wanted spousal support. She wanted to keep her apartment. She wanted both of the dogs. All of this was in the original TRO.
In the okay, guys, we're a little insider baseball.
Sorry,
right?
I know I'm going a little bit afield, but
No, you're not going afield. I'm saying that we have to kind of explain to them. So we all know what the temporary protective order is, or restraining order that she asked for when he was outside of the country, and then she did this big perp walk in front of the media to make sure that they caught her going in there with the little gray marks under her eye. Well, she in that, from what you're telling me, requested basically settlement money. She's requesting attorney's fees in her divorce case, property rights in her divorce case. That's inappropriate for a temporary restraining order. That's just about, are you being kept safe? You know, and if you share a domicile, and it's like sometimes those things can say, okay, well, he can't return to the domicile until we get to the permanent protective order because he can't be around you. But it's not like you don't deal with division of property and division of assets and division of pets and stuff like that. That's crazy. You just don't do that in a TRO.
That's true.
It was nuts.
That's blowing my mind.
The TRO for death. H says, Coke nose was my first thought on that anecdote from the security guard. Your nose is bleeding. I did think that too, but I was like, I don't know. I thought then I kind of just thought she was just straight up lying because I was like,
I thought
she's
she
lying about everything else. Yeah, but at first I was like, yeah, it's Coke, but then I was like, nah, she's probably just lying. Nate, you are very entertaining and informative. Question: If it's not good to show the jury, why is it okay to talk about them and their actions? Well, the reason why you don't want to show the jury is because you don't want people going to buy, why did you make this decision? Blah, 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 blah. So they protect the jury so they can be free to make the decision without any repercussions. And most states have laws against outing juries and things of that nature. So so that's thing. But you can talk about them, right? As long as you don't say that's Joe Johnson who lives there. Blah, blah. You can't do that.
It's
right?
tradition, guys, too. I see what they're what Shem Pasta is talking about, but since juries have existed, you'll go back, you'll see some old articles that are like hand printed. Well, they'll say, the jury seems skeptical, like they've always been allowed to give like the jury's facial expressions and whether or not they're asleep or awake, but you just can't out who they are. It's just an old thing. You can't identify them, right?
Amber Turd won't even get a Prep H commercial down. Prep H. She was secretly recording him before they were married. Of course, she was setting him up from the beginning. Agrees
Yeah.
with you, Natalie. I
Yeah.
think this was a long con. How
Mm.
would you have defended this case? Think JD's settlement admission killed his career more than the op-ed. So
Hmm?
think JD's settlement admission killed his career more than the op-ed. How would you defend this case? I don't know that. Think
Mm.
So
JD's
here's
settlement admission.
Maybe I'm
here's
not
something.
remembering something.
Yeah, maybe I'm missing it.
So it happened during the morning where they were talking, and it was driving me. I was on Joe's channel, and both of us were losing our minds because they were talking about the settlement negotiations in court
Yeah.
on direct with Amber, and both of us are screaming, "Why are you allowing this to occur? Because that
Yeah.
is sacrosanct. You do not talk
Yeah.
about settlement negotiations as evidence."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
true.
they just
Definitely.
let it run, and I don't know why to this day. So I have no idea what they were doing there, but I think that's sort of what he's getting at.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
I'm sorry. I wish I just don't. I'm not clear on it. And blaming her lawyers for leaking images to TMZ. Lawyers and personal representatives. Yeah, she threw them right under the bus. You think the dog will sue Amber Heard for defamation? What dog? Oh, the dog
The
that
teacup
she says poops
Yorkies.
on the dad. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, his Yorkie was chunkier than mine.
Who versus Heard?
hey, did you notice Amber Heard's team showed 2 pics of the exact same thing, but for 2 different incidents? One
No,
pic,
I didn't notice
the
that.
brightness was edited. I have to check that out. Now you're gonna make
Somebody
me start
sent
looking
that
at
to me on
pics.
Twitter.
You're gonna make me look at pics. But sometimes things like that happen. Now, sometimes you'll mess up exhibits and stuff like that. So it may not be anything nefarious. It could just be somebody mislabeled a picture for an exhibit.
Her poor
It
attorney.
looks like the brightness was changed.
Okay.
Oh, no, like even so, I'm saying sometimes.
No,
like,
I'm
people
saying
are
like
bright
honest
pictures or
mistakes
whatever.
happen.
Yeah. But her poor
I'm not
attorney,
gonna
they don't
assume
get the benefit of
nefariousness.
the doubt. They don't get the benefit because she's been lying so much that like they could make like a typo, like a simple typographical error. They're like, see, she's a liar, just a basic human error.
That's the amazing. Once you have the internet after you,
oh my god,
they'll
it's
find
over.
something, whether they have to make it up or not.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
This says after the morning dates change, her lawyer had her testify about all the intense research she did to catalog all instances of abuse. Whoops, that's true. So after they did the date change, then they started naming like how many we have. Like we had what did they say? Like we had 13. 3 of them were sexual. Like they started literally listing them out in this very methodical way. But then that also lets you know that they kind of, to me, that exchange of how many incidents and then how many ones were this way and this way, that kind of made me think that they had talked over the break about.
Oh,
that was why I know. That was why.
Yes. So it's like
I think they
it's
conferred
obvious you
because
guys
she's
talked.
now citing her interrogatory.
Yeah.
A week after her 2 day and a half of testimony, she's now citing her interrogatory.
Yeah,
so
right.
She just independently came up with that idea.
Yeah, it just didn't make any. It was just like, okay, like this is obvious that you guys obviously talked, because who would just she would now know the exact number. You guys would agree on numbers, agree on time, like everything was in sync. No, that just doesn't happen.
It's incongruous too with messing up the date by a year, right? With saying that, I forgot when the abuse actually started. It actually started in 2012 and 2013. Here now, let me give you a list accounting of every single incident of abuse. No, that you've been coached.
Yeah, you have been coached. Most Minchie threw Wit under the bus with the coke. Cats, I DM'd you on Twitter for the reasons to reporting a case in the UK. For the reasons to reopening a case in the UK. I'll make these bigger so I can read them. Does Amica cream work on poop? If it does, thank you for the $5 super stick, Patricia. If it does, who knows? She used magic ice to get rid of the swelling in hours. No, she's Wolverine. Sorry, Roxanne, you're wrong. She's Wolverine from the X-Men. Well, truly says Amber Heard, $6 million, gets Esquire facepalm and self-objection. Debt pays more, gets Esquire Angel Velasquez with God, adding the thunder and put an array spotlight on CV. Did you guys see the part where if you watch the cross examination, what he's talking about is that there was a lightning strike and the video blacked out for a second. It came back, but it
Mhm.
was right after a question. Yeah, it was right after a question, and that's when everybody was like the God came down and struck the courtroom. She was
So
lying
did the
so
power
much.
just sort of like flicker for a second in the courtroom? Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, and it went
We had a
black
bad
just for that
storm
quick
here.
second.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it happened right after a question. Like she was like, isn't that true? Boom.
Wow. I have to go back and watch that. That's awesome.
Then it went blank. So that's what Ian said. He said some of the jurors were like, "Oh, it's giving more
How do I
dramatic than it
retain
was."
God?
She's obviously lying. She's about to be struck by lightning. This one says, as an accountant, I can tell you this. Johnny gets no benefit whether he pays the ACLU over Amber. If the $7 million is considered alimony, he gets to deduct it from his gross income. The fact
if it's
actually
alimony, but if it's a settlement,
1 out of 2.
no.
Am I missing?
He's going to come with another one.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. So we got to get the back of this one.
Mhm.
Not only is Amber having a bad day, also her PR guy. Her PR guy's has a nightmare. He's watching these streams right now too, and probably thinking, "What the hell?"
Mhm.
Can you ask Natalie if it's right that you would put makeup on before foundation to cover a bruise? If so, would it be good to point out to a male jury?
Oh, okay. So I don't know what she said about the sequence in which she covered these alleged bruises. And again, bruises don't, especially getting headbutted and stuff, bruises don't come on their own. You also have swelling and things like that. So you can't cover that with makeup. But if you're doing what's called color correcting, you do that before you put on foundation. So I don't know if how that helps your point or not, but you would color correct and then put foundation on, especially to cover a bruise. So you use a little bit of like green or orange coloring to cover up the bruise first, and then you would set it with some powder, and then you put foundation on. I don't expect either of you guys to know anything about that. But you guys always know you can come to Natalie Lawyer Chick for the makeup advice as well. That's what my channel started out as. It was the makeup stuff.
Incredibly Average has a video that proves that Raquel Pennington made an anonymous 911 call for the May 21st, 2016 incident at the penthouse, the one where the cops showed up. So it was Raquel who was already in there who made the call. Interesting.
I gotta run, so I want to answer Mr. Desai's question though, real quick.
Cool.
So I looked it up. In California, divorce settlements are not considered capital gains or taxable income. So alimony might be taxable, but the settlement amount itself is not. And so she would maintain the benefit, and ultimately, if she decided to donate it, she would be able to reap the charitable, deduction. So that's my understanding when it comes to California law. I just looked it up real quick. But yeah, generally the actual settlement is not. Alimony is generally considered a deduction against the person paying the alimony and income to the person receiving it. That obviously your results may vary based upon the state. But I got to run, Nate.
All right, take care. Thanks again for stopping by.
It was nice
Natalie,
meeting
really
you.
nice to meet you. All right, take care, guys.
Take care. I'm just going to read through these super chats. If you want to read along, I hate when the last person's here. And I feel like they're keeping them hostage. Like you can't leave until I.
Well, I'll tell you this, Nate. My deadline is when my husband is getting home from doing all this campaign stuff. So as soon as he gets home, I'm out of here. So let's hang out.
Here we go. All right, so here we go. So this was beneficial to Amber if Johnny pays the institutions directly, so she never has to report it on her own return. But I think John answered that. Yeah, I don't know. I want to look into
I
this a
have no
little bit more
idea.
because I'm bad with taxes. Numbers I'm all right with, but taxes I'm not. Amber Heard's true character is emerging, so powerful due to smart cross. Yeah, that cross was so brutal. It was brutal.
Mm,
That was brutal.
wonderful.
Can can you insanely can you use insanity and a civil prescribed
Antipsychotic.
antipsychotic?
Hmm.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Gonna need to refresh my memory, but I believe I have it right. All right.
Well, we got two experts here disagreeing, and so I'm gonna let you
This is
guys
it.
have at it because I don't know anything about taxes or accounting.
You know what? I believe you, Corrad. Correct. I believe you. I believe you. Bad Lips was from MDMA, and dehydration, alcohol.
I mean,
That
again,
makes sense.
lips don't just split on their own from physical blunt force trauma. You have bruising, swelling. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not
Yes,
just a
yes,
split.
yes.
That's all she had was a cut down her lip. I don't believe you got that from getting backhanded with a guy with a bunch of rings. I don't believe you.
No.
You
Mm-mm.
look too satisfied.
Yes, yes, and yeah, she just it wasn't backhanded, and it wasn't, and she never just said he just was like it was like she's saying that it was like brutal, like repeated,
Yeah.
right? That's a
Yeah.
different story with rings on. It's like, you know what you're saying? Do you know what type of
She
bruises
doesn't
you?
know what she's saying. She doesn't understand the laws of physics, and she doesn't understand that she exists within a human body, which we all have. So we don't need to be experts to know that that's BS.
Iris Wildfire, thanks for the super sticker. They have what's it say? They need line holders from 1 to 4 a.m. Can you please share? Can you please share sign up link? They I don't think they have the line people down there because we were asking about that the other day, and they were saying that there was some rule against it, and they weren't letting people line up to a certain time. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would have helped. Amber Heard is currently being investigated in Australia for perjury. I could face up to 10 years in prison. Mm.
Oh, I don't know that.
I
I
don't know.
don't
We
know
know
that. That
nothing
would
about
be
that.
interesting. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot that people are telling us about Amber Heard that I'm hearing for the first time. People,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And like, I'm sure you're not paying your money to just lie to Nate, but like literally trust but verify. Like, I would need to look all that up.
Yeah, this is something before I can co-sign. I got to look
I
a
pay
little
money
deeper.
to tell lies.
Yeah, we got to trust but verify.
Right.
JD admitted in his divorce settlement that neither party made false accusations for money. True.
Yeah.
After Amber Heard alleged all her SA and DV lies for the TRO. So she says all the stuff for the TRO. They signed a settlement saying nobody made any false allegations, but this was after this. So I think that's an interesting line of reasoning. But I think now she was probably the first one to break the non-disclosure agreement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because don't forget, she also said that there was nothing there too, right? So they both the non-disclosure agreement was a lie on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She
No,
lied and
I
said
agree.
that he was good. He lied and said she was good, but then they knew they both weren't good.
And also, like, that's the nature of settlements, right? Like, what are you going to get out of it if not trying to repair your reputation? And like, you all give something, you all lose something. But she went above and beyond that with the Washington Post article in 2018. That title of essay, that's above and beyond anything that was alleged in the TRO. So I'm sorry, no, I don't think so. I'm
And
gonna agree with that.
I don't think we're here if she doesn't do the article, because Johnny
No.
was still all right. I don't think we're here. I think the article, I think the TRO was enough to
Yeah.
people, but I don't think Johnny could have done anything else after that. But the article was it. Okay, we go into the next level.
And the joint statement for the settlement almost was like, look, let's let bygones be bygones. No one's a bad person here. That's the vibe that I got from it. So it was kind of like a solve to anything that had been in the TRO. And then she just ripped the Band-Aid off and like opened up the wound with the Washington Post article. So I don't agree with that assessment. Mm-mm.
It might not be a lot, but curious to know, what do you three think Amber did well in this part of her cross? There are a couple of things that I think she did well. Number one, at first she didn't fight with the madness. She knew a lot of stuff was coming up, and she kind of just let it go. Look at your back, no injuries, right? Yes, like she was in a good groove. She knew this was going to be brutal. She knew there was going to be a lot of inconsistencies. She ate a lot of inconsistencies early, so I think that was good. And I think her tone was good too, early on. She didn't fight. She didn't do anything. And another thing, she had a couple of good moments too with the whole the note actually says man, and the other thing that she went on. So it wasn't a total loss, but I think at the end of the day, when you add the scores up, this was a blowout on one side. She had her moments and she tried, but she broke that at the end, because if she stayed in character from the beginning, this doesn't go down as hard. But because she broke character halfway, I mean at the end, with this donated versus pledged, that's what I think sent her down the portal of destruction. It was she was still going down, but she goes down harder because now that being so deceptive. What do you think, Natalie?
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, I feel like in the beginning, she did what I say to my clients to do if they are crazy enough to take the stand or any witnesses and they're going to be cross-examined. And I'm not saying defendants are crazy to take the stand. I'm just saying that, like, you got to be pretty bold, right? So you're taking a stand, you're testifying. And, where you can't get out of it, just admit it and move on. When you deny it, you give them too much to work with. And she did a lot of that in the beginning, but she just lost it there at the end. And it was just terrible. I mean, I think a lot of like what you're giving her points for really comes down to Camille being an excellent cross-examiner who had control of her and wouldn't let her get away. But in the hands of the wrong attorney, I don't think it would have went as well for Amber in the beginning. But no, I think this was a devastating cross-examination. I think it's horrible. Yeah.
I think it was so bad she lost her claims and essentially lost the case if the jury is not as technical in the law as I think they should be. If they're technical in the law, you got a split verdict. But again, but we haven't seen the rest of the case, so she still has another case to put on. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Did I read this one? Oh yeah. She did well on cross. Thanks, Michelle, for the $5. Natalie, I need you to take a sick day and go to court with the trial trio. I pledge $1 million for your in-person reaction. 1 million.
Yeah.
Do you accept that offer? My God.
If I didn't have my own clients, I'd be out there.
I think I've gotten the 30 million pledges tonight, so I'm a 30 millionaire. Lord Lumber said he has done depot on Ricada. Lord Lumber said he has done depot on Ricada. I'm not sure what that means, but play devil's advocate. How has he not proven his case?
That's a good question. Love that.
Go
ahead, keep going.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just thinking myself. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know. Let me see. How has he not proven his case? So has he proven? All right. So the two pieces of his case that I believe he has not proven, as of yet, but he's on his way there, is that there was no abuse during their entire relationship.
From him.
Yes, from him. I don't think he's proven that, but I think he's gotten to the point where I would give him the win if it was close. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like there's two little things. One of them being his flourishy language that he talks about can be taken as ambiguous in some points in time. So that could be seen as kind of like, I killed the monster, which, it's never him admitting to abuse, but could be read as him admitting to abuse potentially.
Of course, yeah.
And then there's the treatment notes with their couples therapist where he says things about,
as good as it gets.
Yeah, that I think that could hurt him on the physical abuse allegations.
Yeah.
She gave as good as she got. Like that sounds like we were in there tussling.
Yeah, we
like,
were
I
wrestling
don't
around.
need to make light of it, but it just really seems like it's hard to say that you never laid hands if it's like, nah, she was fighting me, man. We were fighting.
She was good. She gave as good as she got.
Yeah.
But that's why I said that the two claims out of the three claims, the two claims that are most vulnerable are the two ones that really just rely on the term abuse. But the one that relies on sexual violence, I think he's got that in spades. So I think he
I
wins
think
on that,
so.
but I think he can lose on the abuse claims. But I wouldn't be surprised if he wins on all three. Right now, if you told me he was winning on all three, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, she just might be so disgusting to them, and like I don't know, she might be so unlikable that he just wins the case.
Quran, another $5 says alimony taxable to receiving party, not taxable to the one paying it to child support, paying it child support, non-taxable for receiving party, not tax deductible for paying party. All right. I'm just not a tax person.
I'm just
I'm
gonna
sorry.
believe Quran and whatever
Yeah,
you say.
come on,
But
you
then,
convinced me.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you though, Quran. Somebody else hop on here and says something opposite. I'm gonna believe them too because I don't know anything
Yeah,
about
I just don't know. I just don't know.
Mm-mm.
We're lawyers. We're lawyers.
Mhm. We don't
Amber
do
Heard
math.
trying to convince us that pledging is donating reminded me of the Scott Tots episode of The Office.
Oh no. Oh my, that episode was like so funny and so like emotionally devastating when he had pledged all this money to these children. Oh my
You guys are crazy.
God.
Hold on, let me grab these last two. All right, so I have a couple more left. See if we can get out of here. Oh, don't want to skip this one. It says ironic. Amber Heard coke addiction saved Johnny Depp's future. Save Depp's future.
Oh, how? That's interesting.
Dun Depot during trial. Dun Depot during trial, so Whitney might still come. Dun Depot during trial, Whitney might. Yes, it's possible to do a deposition during the trial. Things happen, and you do it. I thought if that was going to happen, I would have supposed to do that last week. We had the
Right.
week off. You catch up on depots or whatever if you want somebody else to come. But I'm not sure what's going on. So she could catch up. If they did, then that'd be good. But I'm
I
not.
think
I'm not sure.
was
if they're gonna
David the
get caught
same
up
one
on
that said that Lon Lumber had said that
it.
the
Caught up.
depot
Oh,
but
so
I
that's
think
what
this is
you
all
mean.
tying that whole comment together that
Okay, done
yeah.
depot during trial, so Whitney still might come. All right, so Whitney's depot is done. That's what he said. Okay, so she may come.
Oh.
That's her sister, the one that
Yeah,
that
no.
the
I
push down the
really want to hear
stairs.
Whitney.
Yeah, but that's her only fact witness that can corroborate anything. And she
I
wasn't
mean,
even there
that's
for most of the
fine.
stuff. She just was there. She just was. No, she told me this, and that I think you lose on. I think you lose on. She told me this versus I see this because I don't think you can rely on what she told you, right?
Whitney's only important for the stair story that he was trying to push my sister down the stairs and so I slapped him.
No, she punched him.
Oh, I punched him. That's right. That's right.
That's how you stop somebody from.
Yeah, it's I just shut up, girl. I just can't take you seriously.
Also, it says Coran Dissy works for H&R Block. Alimony deduction was repealed by the TCJA for divorce decrees in effect in 2018 onward. Boom.
Right.
We got
right
contention
on.
over the tax law right now. We're about to go in a tax fight.
Yeah, that's what I feel, and I feel like what was his name again? The guy that was on here just now. What was his name?
Ron. Sorry.
Your former guest.
Dev. John. I'm John.
John. Yeah. So I feel like we need to bring John back, and we need to have like a tax expert duel, right? Where they just like go in on what these tax deductions mean, because again, it's all Greek to me, baby. Like everything you just said made no sense, but right on, man.
If Amber Heard's friend Rachel Pennington is the MMA fighter of the same name, she could have beaten Johnny to a bloody pulp. But what? Maybe I don't know if she is. I don't know if she isn't. Maybe. I don't know.
Is Raquel Pennington? Does she go by Rocky? Because that's pretty badass. That's pretty cool.
That makes sense. That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mary says, could Johnny sue her for breach of contract? I assume so. If she broke the NDA.
Yeah.
But
NDAs,
I don't.
Guys, really and truly, NDAs are mostly bullshit for the most part.
Yeah.
They are. Sorry.
You sign up for nothing, really.
Yeah.
The what's it called? Oops. Let me get this next one. Oh, this one is a new. This is a new one. All right, so this is the new one. You two make a great duo. Regular show in the future. Oh, okay. Maybe that might be a good idea.
I like it.
Two NY attorneys with weirdly sounding names. It
Similar.
writes itself. Oh, similar sounding names.
Nate
Weirdly
and
similar
Natalie.
sounding names.
I can see
That's
it.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it does
just to be-
rhyme.
I am a New Yorker, but not a New York attorney. Okay, so I'm from New York, but I always, I didn't pass the New York bar. I give that to you guys. So I passed the Maryland bar.
Trust me. This the New York bar, but now it's the UB eating here. Thank God. But the New York bar was don't even start it.
Horrendous. Just horrible.
Part E. I can't wait for the funny meme compilation of the day's trial. Oh yeah, it's gonna be glorious. It's going to be glorious. Do you think JD has won already in the court of public opinion after today's debacle? Yes, JD won today for sure, no doubt about it. What do you think about that?
A little
Court of
differently.
public opinion.
A little differently. I think that like I was talking to some friends about it, and there are some people that are still holding fast, and these are attorneys, some coworkers, and there some of them are still holding fast to they're both toxic. Now, these were people that were probably on the he's an abuser train before, and now they're kind of won over to they're both toxic. I don't think that they're willing to go over into she is the abuser, which is like where I'm at, right? So does that ultimately help him? Maybe if it's like, oh, this is a mutually toxic two Tasmanian devils just being together, just going crazy. Maybe he can get some roles again, but I think to fully rehab his image, he needs more people to be on the side of he was the victim of abuse, which is where I am. But I don't think people are comfortable going there yet.
Yeah. It's funny because I think for Johnny Depp, he was out, he was done. I think now he's not done, and I think that's the win. I think that's the true win for his career is that he's not done anymore. I think people, if a new movie came out with Johnny Depp, I think people look at that differently.
Yeah, I'm thinking of myself. I'm like, I'd hire him if I was like a producer or something. I'd hire him. And
but I don't think I would hire Amber Heard.
Hell no.
And see that's where I think he's already won, because before it was reversed. Before this trial started, it was the exact opposite. She was still doing Aquaman, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't get it though. Bad actress.
Does the outcome matter at this point? Been lurking since U.S. soccer videos. Love your candor and logic. Thank you. I don't think that. I honestly think the outcome matters, because if he wins, there's a little something extra in it for winning. You win, it's the true validation of it, right? It's like people don't think so, but the true validation is the win. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is a question really. It's asking about the moral victory and the victory, right? Which one would you rather have? I would rather have the win, right?
Oh,
and I think and with the win comes the moral victory. So I don't know.
I have to. I think this goes back to what I said previously. Guys, we're on YouTube. If you're watching a 3 hour and 36-minute long live stream, you're in the trenches with us, right? So we're deep in this thing, and and we're loving it, right? That's not a majority of people in the country. It really isn't. So a lot of people are going on headlines and things like that. So I think to get to that full rehabilitation, I think he needs the win. I think on at least one of the counts, he needs the win, because it'll for people that haven't had the time to watch every single moment of testimony because they've been at work, that'll be that's the cliff notes for them. Well, he won, so she must have been lying, End of story.
Yep. And she's gonna try to turn hard into the Me Too, but a win really hammers that home.
Yeah, she'll republish the tweet again if she wins. It's like if she wins, she's gonna hammer in again. Although really any organization that supports women's rights or is against women being abused, you really need to say, please, if you ever hear this, please stay away from her, because she is not a true advocate for victims, and she's not a true victim, and she's just not. Please stay away from her.
How much regret do you think Amber Heard's team is feeling right now for giving Camille 10 days to prepare for cross? I made this point on Joe's stream a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
Was it Joe?
Mhm.
Was it Joe or Nick stream? One of the two. But I
Mhm.
was on one of their streams and I made this point. I said, well, no, matter of fact, it was Nick's stream. Yeah. So I'm on Nick's stream and they were talking about how they thought the 10 days might be good for Amber's team. And I remember,
Right.
I remember saying, I think it could cut both ways. And
Yeah.
the issue was that you gave them 10 days to prepare for cross and you've given half your cross.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of stuff you said. That's a lot of stuff that doesn't match stuff before. Now I got everybody looking up, and it's not like I gotta wait for a transcript. I got hours of video of you saying it exactly right when you said it, how you said it. So it's a totally different animal. And I thought it went to hurt. I think it really went to hurt, and we saw that play out today. We saw that play out today, and I saw it, and it hurt, and how it hurt both sides today. In Direct was answering stuff that was said on the internet over the 10 days.
Yes.
But Cross today was taking what she said on Direct a couple of days ago and tearing that up. So it was like what she said on Direct 2 days ago, we're gonna tear all that up. It wasn't even start today. It was what she said 2 days ago. And then on Direct, it was kind of like, well, we got to answer the internet and do the PR stuff. So it was
which is insane.
How they focused in on that 10 days. You said, which is insane.
I just thought, I'm glad you said that because it's something I made a note about, in my little notes app as I'm listening to it. I said, wait, this is nuts. They're responding to the internet, but the jury is not supposed to be able to see anything that's on the internet. So you're talking for public relations purposes, but you're not playing to win the case. Because what you're addressing are really non-issues in the facts of the trial that we have, I thought that was very foolish, a waste of time to try to delve into disproving certain like Milani and things like that. I just thought that was very, very foolish.
It was, and it was one of those things where, but I think that's her ego coming through the attorney, right?
Yes.
We gotta, look what they're saying about me. Look what they're saying about me.
And that means you've also definitely been talking to your attorneys when you weren't supposed to.
I won't go that far.
Allegedly, don't sue me.
Allegedly, she knew exactly how many situations there were. Allegedly. I don't know. That was kind of crazy. It says Thunder Goddess Camille, love you guys. Yes, that was fantastic. Like what is that called? Adage? Like the adage.
Adage.
Am I reading it? Adage. I'm like adage. Like the adage. It's too late for me. Like the adage, if two buddies are running from a bear, Johnny doesn't have to be believable.
Yeah.
He just has to be more believable than her.
I agree. That could be that's not necessarily the law. But in this case, it really could be that she falls behind and gets eaten by the bear just because she's such a liar, right?
Yeah.
That could be it. I agree with that.
But this is because again, I keep saying this is a classic he said she said case, unfortunately. And right now she said is not going well. I think the best comment of the day was Uncivil Law telling Camille to stop being so good because he can only get so blank.
That was a very controversial comment. I wasn't there when it was said, but they kept talking about it on Alita's stream. They were pissed. So no comment on that.
Yeah, that's
no thanks. Hot potato, don't want it.
Yeah, I have no comment to that comment. Amber Heard saw the pic of the bottle and recalled, if it was the exact bottle, did anyone else notice there was still liquid in the bottle with no lid on it, though? I don't remember. It was a Maker's Mark bottle, I remember, but I don't know.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure. I remember the Maker's Mark.
Look.
Thing. Huh. Yeah, I have to look at this. Oh.
Liquor still in it made you bleed. And the bottle's open. Muy interesante.
Oh. Inquiring Mind says people don't care about an addict on their big screens, but they will not watch an abuser.
Yeah,
So it's important he wins. Justice for Johnny.
I agree.
Interesting.
I agree.
It's a very, very
I
good
don't
point.
care if actors abuse themselves. I don't care. It's none of my business.
And what was and should have been contentious. In my 20s and early 30s, I didn't bruise early. Soft tissue damage would have shown up on an
Mm-hmm.
MRI.
Mm-hmm.
I already went through the I am sorry phase. And
You're gonna get some more there.
okay. This says Nate, I tagged you on Twitter. A Herd confesses TMZ leaks. All right, so I'm gonna look on Twitter to see. Amber Heard confesses TMZ leaks. $1 from Victoria. Thank you, Victoria. All right, so this one. All right, no more super chats because I am not going to read them, but I want to see if I can see this. TMZ Amber Heard. Let's see if we got some confession. Let's see if this last one. All right, so TMZ. Amber Heard, 13 hours ago. Amber Heard team slams Johnny as victim shamer. That's 13 hours ago, so that's before today. What happened today? I don't see anything about Amber Heard's confession. Sorry, guys. No confession as of right now, but I'll look for it, though. I'll look for it on Twitter. So, what do you expect for tomorrow morning?
What do I expect for tomorrow morning? I really want to see more of this is what you said on deposition. This is what you said in your UK statement. This is what you said here. And it's different from what you said in the case or what you're saying today. I want more of that because I think that type of precision is the most effective to the jury. It always has been and always will. And she has so many inconsistent statements to work with. It's like she's like a kid in a candy store. So much to choose from. And so it's just a matter of which one she thinks will make the most impact so she's not boring the jury. And I think she's going to do great.
Well, we will see tomorrow, bright and early, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. It's so crazy. It's funny too because I'm watching like everybody streaming. So now I'm streaming it, watching everybody else streaming it. So it's crazy. But
I will not be streaming. I will be trying to pop in on everyone's channel whenever I get a chance to. So I think I'm going to try. Are you going to be streaming, Nate?
Yeah, I have so I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'm just doing a cross-examination. Then after that I go pop in everybody else's stream. So I'm doing a little bit out of I did a little bit of that today where I streamed from the morning and then I just went and popped on everybody else's stream in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'll try yours first and I'll just go from there wherever I can. But you guys know I have court, so there's just no way. There's no way I can ever do a stream from, during the working hours. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Emily says it was directed at Elaine, and Law and Lumber covered it on my stream. She's having I'm not sure, but Emily, good to see you.
Hey, Emily.
Hey, Emily, what's up? And I am getting out of here. Thank you. Check your Twitter DMs. I've sent you about. All right, cool. I'll definitely check it. Thank you guys, and thank you, Natalie, for stopping by.
Thank you.
All links are going to be in the description. Don't forget to please check out Natalie, the lawyer chick. She will hopefully be by tomorrow, and you got to also let us know. Hey, listen, you ever want to play objections? Because I have we have to do the video clips. We're going to do video clips of this one too. A couple of people wanted them too. I don't know if you want to just take it, just to have some fun with it yourself. We don't have to play it live or whatever.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Yes.
Yeah, because we were getting all mad because we're like all of us would sit here and we're like, it's got to be hearsay. It is. The judge is going to say it's obviously hearsay. Overruled. We're like, no.
I got to play along in the comment section the first time you did it, but I couldn't make Saturday, so I'm very excited to join in on that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but because it's a lot of fun because the judge is making these calls on the fly too. So she's going to make mistakes, and we're going to make mistakes. So. But with that said, thank you everybody for joining me, and we'll see the madness tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Good night, everyone.
And broadcast, if I can make it to the button.